It is a benefit, but I get it.
The point of having all Apple shit is so you don't have to learn nothing new. Yeah, I have to. I don't got to use all of it. I just got to learn nothing else.
Nah, hey man, I get it. I get it, man.
I'll tell y'all later, boy.
Players,
next time
bro.
I see you. Yeah,
I'm glad I don't got you. I think you told me a little bit, but yeah,
she wasn't glad on everything, bro. She went through the group chats and all that shit.
That ain't no fun, bro.
Been there, done that, bro.
I was sitting on the floor like a toddler, sick.
We live, Nick.
Oh, my bad.
FYI, don't say too much, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Let me stop now.
It ain't no fun, bro.
Oh man,
it wasn't fun at all, bro.
That's funny.
When they start asking, you know how they start asking you questions when you can't lie.
You ain't got no answer. You ain't got no answer.
They know the answer. They know the answer already.
All you keep saying is, "Why you look through my stuff?" What was you doing?
Well, better yet, I'm saying, are you for real?
Yeah.
Look, what you mean? What you talking about?
I ain't gotta take this.
Hey, the number one is like, who is, and they name somebody, like you like, what how the fuck do you know that?
She was like, who's Nene?
Who is?
Like,
hey, and then you hit her with the Nene. Whatever the name is, you hit her with a question.
Yeah, you gotta ask me that. The higher your voice go, the more you like. Huh?
Oh, damn, that's funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's the homie, that's my friend. Luckily, I got a lot of female friends, and no tweets open doors. I wasn't that white. I wasn't with the white women at the bar, even though it's hella out here. Obviously,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are here to talk football, college, NBA, not NBA. I said NBA shit. NFL. But we almost at NBA season, FIFO.
We almost
right around the corner. Around the corner.
FIFO, calm down on all that NBA talk. He was trying to get it. Yeah. He was trying to get it popping.
No. I'm not gonna get it popping. But Spike, I'm a little bit on your bandwagon. And we'll get into it when we actually get into the NBA talk. But the NBA product is not what it once was, and the ratings show that when I'm tuning in and I'm watching. It's we'll get into it. We'll get into it when the time is right.
The Knicks looking good though. Wow, Shelton, I know you. Hey, they cooking right now.
Hey, what happened? What happened to Paulo? Why he ain't playing?
He got hurt. Remember, all these niggas got hurt early. It's hella people on. Yeah, season.
This shit hard to watch. Like I know we'll get off of it. We'll get off of it, FIFO. But this shit, like even me trying to go watch it, like it's. I know I sound like an old man, but all they do is shoot threes, bro. Like it's like
100%.
What's going on?
And they can't shoot. That's what's problem.
And they can't shoot, right? Bro. Watch this shit.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all heard what BJ Armstrong said, but I 100% agree with him. Yeah. The creativity of the game is lost, bro. Like trying to find the best shot. You know, the best shot now is come down and jack up a three, and it's just like, bro, that's not basketball,
bro. I've been watching this Knicks Orlando game for the NBA Cup, and that's what it is. Like you just see on a fast break, niggas just stopping at the arc. Like that's crazy.
It's crazy. And I know it's hard to understand for people that are younger than us, even including you, Nick, like that are younger than you, to like, what are y'all bitching about? But like, bro, basketball did not used to be like this. Like that, it was interest. Like you looked and like, oh, okay, he getting in this bag. Like it's crazy.
Well, I mean, y'all know my favorite player is Melo, so it's like he is what people
mid-range.
Like the thing about him is that I like players that can score anywhere, mid-range, post game, that 3-point shot. But if you solely doing one thing, and everybody's solely doing one thing now,
when did you get on Melo? When did you get on that Melo's train?
It was after he won the title at Syracuse, and I was just it just seemed like he was just a one-man wrecking team because I can't really name anybody else on that Syracuse squad that did shit.
JJ Magnus
was John Wallace on that team?
Like I said, I can't remember anybody else.
Well, that's you, man. But I remember him.
Hakeem Warwick and McNamara.
Hakeem Warwick. Yeah, that's my one. Warwick was good, but wasn't nobody like Melo though.
And then when he came into the league, he with Denver, it was like his rookie year. He took him to the play. Like it was just like I was like, oh, this motherfucker up next. And then obviously, you know, LeBron and Wade and them like just kind of just
the NBA should try. The NBA should try a week where they take the 3-point line away.
Honestly, that's what they shoot for the NBA Cup. FIFA, wouldn't that be interesting if for the NBA Cup you could not shoot threes?
No threes.
That
would be fire.
Interesting. I think the biggest thing comes down to coaching and developing. It's like we're not promoting the uniqueness of each basketball player. Basketball player has superpowers and has weaknesses. But right now we're just trying to fit everybody into the Steph Curry box. And like everybody not Steph Curry. Like there's I would say about 15 to 20% of players play that way. Duncan Robinson, I don't want to see Duncan Robinson hit a layup. Shoot a three, bro, on a fast break. You okay? Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, who was the Klay Thompson replacement in Golden State?
Buddy Hield.
Like there's certain guys I'm like, I bet I get it. But the rest
that's it.
LeBron,
but that's it.
like LeBron shouldn't be taking more than 4 to 5 threes a game. If he's hot, 8.
I wouldn't even not even that FIFO. LeBron shouldn't take more than 3 threes a game. If he's hot, 5. You know what I'm saying?
His threes should be like you done cut off everything else, and that's pretty much what I got to do.
Well, let me cut this off and jump right into the college football playoffs. It was a wild weekend as expected. It was rivalry weekend, so it was a lot of chaos this past weekend. So this past Saturday, you had a few upsets. So let's look ahead. Which championship game are you looking forward to the most this weekend? The Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, or ACC? So this weekend we had Clemson losing, we had Miami losing. They messed up the church's money. We had Alabama winning and benefiting from both of those losses, and it was of course Ohio State losing, but we're used to that by now. So.
I want to argue with you, but I can give a fuck.
To Rob's point, Ken, you got to introduce Sports and Hip Hop Collide. You got to do that.
Ooh, I didn't do that.
No, you didn't do that.
Oh man, my bad.
Y'all should be used to us by now. Y'all know what JD used to say.
It wasn't a criticism at all. We was just correcting a mistake. It was just
might have somebody new in here. Might have somebody new in here.
Yeah, this is the place. This is the place.
You're right. Well, real quick, this is a place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Nick Shelton, FIFO background, and Spike. So yeah, man. So anyway, yeah, we're talking college NCAA updates. The college football playoffs are right around the corner. This past Saturday was rivalry weekend, and it lived up to the theme with a few surprising upsets, but overall chaos nonetheless. Alabama won against Auburn, expected. Clemson lost. Miami lost. And Texas won their matchup. Oregon won it. I think did Oregon play this week? It don't matter. But yeah, we had some big upsets this past weekend. Ohio State lost to Michigan. Of all, man, this was the year. That being said, which championship game are you guys looking forward to the most this weekend? The Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, or ACC?
I can answer that first. For me, it's 100% the SEC. You get to see a Georgia team that had one of the greatest games I've ever watched personally in my life. This week against Georgia Tech.
8 overtimes.
8 overtimes. They had to battle back, which it was just an incredible game. It was an incredible game from start to finish. They left you on the edge of your seats. It was a lot. But this SEC championship for me, it's a rematch against Texas, who they beat handily the first time. You get to see this Texas team who got a lot of momentum go against the Georgia team who has a lot to prove at this point. So I think those two schools matching up, it's going to be a hell of a ball game, man. It really lining up to be a hell of a ball game, and I can't wait to see the outcome of that. The other ones are good too. SMU, Clemson is going to be good, but I really want to see the Georgia-Texas game more than any other.
Yeah, I agree with Sheldon. I think the SEC has most to, like, as far as if who wins things that are going to happen with the teams that are involved in the playoffs, that has the most effect. So that's why I'm most interested in this game. And I think that's the reason why this weekend of college football was so great. Like, this is usually, you got Ohio State, Michigan, and it's so what, who cares? But now you add Miami into the mix and you add the other teams that were fighting for a playoff spot. I think this is why going to 12 teams was so pivotal for college football. It makes it a lot more interesting right now. I don't know if it can continue to be that way, but I love how interesting that it makes everything. And to that point, the SEC game is going to impact a lot of other things. Like if Georgia wins or if Texas wins, they're going to be like Alabama and Ole Miss. And like it's just going to pose a lot of questions if we see an upset in that game. So that's the one that I'm looking for the most because of what it has to do with everything else.
I think the obvious sexy pick is Georgia, Texas, but I'm actually going with Oregon, Penn State because I really want to know how good Oregon is. Like, Oregon is on a fucking run. They the only undefeated team, I think, walking into the playoffs. So, as the number 1 seed. So they're playing Penn State, which, I mean, Penn State, we'll see how good it is. I don't think they really gonna do shit.
The number 2 team in the nation.
The number 3. Number 2 is Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
yeah, so based off the how things went down. But I'm looking forward to that. I think the other interesting part is if Georgia loses, are they out of the playoffs?
Not now.
Does Alabama take their spot? Because at that point, Georgia would have 3 losses against, at the time, I guess, top 5 teams.
Well, right now, Alabama is in at 11, according, I think, if this is official.
Yeah, because I didn't see any official, because I have like a picture of some of the teams as far as who are on the bubble. Because the only ones that they're saying is Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Penn State, and Ohio State are the guaranteed locks. And then everybody else is kind of depends on how shit shake.
Well, I don't know, Nick. Honestly, I think if Clemson beat SMU, then they could steal Alabama's spot.
I hope Clemson loses, boy.
But if Georgia loses, how far would they drop? Like, how much would they be penalized? Especially since Alabama beat Georgia.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. That's the reason why I was saying, like, would they switch? I mean, even though you said Georgia, Bama's in, it's in. They still got 3 losses, so I think that's the reason why I felt like the championship conference games are actually hurting. They're gonna have to change up the rules about how it's played out now, because it's gonna hurt you to actually be that far and then lose versus just like, being a lower seed. But I'm looking forward to the Oregon Penn State game because I just want to see what this Oregon team really looks like as we go deeper into the playoffs.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It was for all of them, honestly. I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit. I do think the rematch between Texas would be interesting. We've seen that. I don't know if Georgia plays down to the level. I don't know what Georgia they're not really good this year. Carson Beck is just flat out awful. And if it's not open, he just won't throw it. And they are very, very, I thought that game was over. 17-0 at halftime. I turned it off. I thought it was over. So yeah, they definitely got lucky to win that game.
I will also say one last thing. With the conference realignments, and I think they're even still continue on doing the realignments, and now we're seeing like conferences have like legit, programs in the same area like we have with the SEC and the Big Ten now. Emphasis on coaching is going to be looked at a lot differently. And I say that to say, like, it's always been that way, but I don't think we'll ever see another Nick Saban type of run moving forward. Just because there ain't going to be that many cupcake like Mercer and what's his name? Mr. Potato Head University type shit, like those type of colleges anymore. You gonna probably get on your first slate. You facing Tennessee, you facing Bama. Like they gonna throw all types of shit because obviously there's gonna be more money generated in the regular season leading up to the playoffs. So I think that all these we looking at Ryan Day like he ain't shit, and this motherfucker only lost like 10 games in a 4 or 5 year span. Like, and just because he can't beat Michigan and get to a title game, we look at him like he ain't shit. That's just gonna get worse moving forward when you're gonna when Penn State gets better, when USC gets better, when all these other these teams that are known programs, but they don't really have the cachet like they used to. Once people start getting better, like look at Colorado this year. Like
shit, even a team, Nick, like to your point, like SMU. Like, nobody expects them to be good, but like, we're in Dallas and we got money and we can pay our players. Like Alabama ain't the only team that could pay players now. Like SEC ain't the only people that can give you envelopes in the back of a building now and you come play for us. Like everybody can do it and it's legal. We're starting to see this year, like I agree with your point. There will never be another Nick Saban because the playing field is too level now. Everybody can do what Alabama was doing under the table or what the SEC was doing under the table as far as paying players. So now we get to see who manages their talent the best.
I do think Clemson. Go ahead, FIFO.
I was going to say, like the biggest difference too is that we're not going to see a Nick Saban style coach, Bobby Knight style coaches, because now if the player don't like your message, well, I'm a transfer, bro. I'm gonna just hit that transfer portal and play next year in a place that maybe I make more money and that the coaching staff ain't gonna treat me the way you treated me. So
real quick, even worse than that, not even that. It's just like, I don't get the starting job, transfer portal. I ain't even gotta like the coach. Like it, all it has to do with is how you're treating me as a player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these dudes are pros now, so coaches that need to check their ego and need to and the other dangerous thing is that becoming a pro, that's a whole nother level. A lot of these kids a lot of them are still immature. There's only a select few that are going to be mature, like Arch Manning is mature, Shador is mature. There's just a collective, a handful of guys that are going to be mature. You're going to be dealing with a lot of knuckleheads that got a lot of money that ain't going to want to hear what you got to say to them. So they're going to move on and hit that transfer portal. So now I agree with y'all. We're not going to, or especially you, Nick, we're not going to see what we used to see. But in a way, it's good for college football because it adds to the parity. So now there are going to be programs that we haven't seen ever be good that are going to be good now because Joe Schmo didn't like how coach hollered at him at a practice. So now he's going to be at another school next year.
What about flag planting celebrations, FIFO? We had a situation in Michigan and Ohio State where they won the game and they went on the field and planted the flag, and Ryan Day was just standing there watching it all like a goofball.
He asked what happened. Ken, he asked what happened. How disconnected? Like, what the fuck are you watching, bro? Like, what do you mean? What happened?
Yeah, my plug at Ohio State is saying like, there's gonna be a lot of firings going on, obviously, and that flag play was a symbolism of his career at Ohio State. That's why he said he ain't know what happened because
these big programs with these storied rivalries. Are they good jobs to take? Of course, because they're gonna pay you the most, but it comes with a lot of scrutiny because like you said, over a 5-year career, he lost 10 games, but he keeps losing to Michigan. So guess what? You out of there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Harbaugh. The first couple of years he lost to Ohio State because he had to get his recruits in, but once he did, then he ran that. So at the end of the day, man, these schools that have these bitter, like deep-seated we talk rivalries that go back 100 years. You better beat your rival. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, you out of there.
And it's rivalry week, so it's like we're facing you either at home or on the road. So it's either night and day as far as hostile environment to where it's on your side. So as the home team, you can't lose that game, even now more so than ever, because it's like either I'm not going to the championship game or I'm kicked out the playoffs. So there's now double weight on it.
And you know what I always say in college football, it's not if you lose, it's when you lose. And a lot of these joints is right at the end of the season. So it's going to make or – like what happened them 10, 12 games before this, it mattered, but it don't matter. Because this is the one. This is the make or break season right there.
And Michigan had a shitty season, but the fact that they beat Ohio State and are coming after a natty, they could get like Shareek Moore, whatever the fuck that nigga name is. He kept his job based off of that. He was about to. They almost had his bags packed shelves like Ryan Clark when he was about to leave ESPN.
They were just waiting to zip it up.
They had his bags.
What you doing after this?
But but once he beat Ohio State in the shoe in the horseshoe, he was like, "No, you good, bro."
He bought himself some time.
You got one more year.
You got one more year.
To your question, Ken, I ain't mad at the flag planting thing, man. If you don't want us to plant the flag on your field, then win the fucking game.
Exactly.
Yeah, like win the fucking game, bro. Like I don't care nothing about it. Like y'all getting mad and it's disrespectful. I don't care, bro. Win the game and it won't happen. With that being said, I think the NCAA needs to do something and make it like an official thing. Like if we're gonna do this, then let's do it. Like before the beginning of the game, just like the coin toss. Like you won, you got to accept this, nigga. We finna plant this flag in the middle of your field, and this is how it's gonna go down. I think that's the only way to prevent, because these are rivalries. That's
not disrespectful enough, Spike.
No, I was gonna say something,
but that's what I'm saying. You got to take the disrespectful out of it. However, these players know how this goes, because in the rivalry matchups, these usually, with the exception of Ohio State, Michigan, I'm assuming, I don't know, but these usually, when you're talking about Texas A&M, when you're talking about South Carolina, Clemson, these people that have been playing against each other their whole life since Pop Warner. You just happen to go to this school and I go to this school. I know you. We played against each other in high school, or we played on the same team. So, this is how it's going to go down. Like, this is what rivalry is all about. And I think if you try to take this out, it's taking some of the flavor of college football out. So now we seeing the fights. It's a problem. Let's find a way to do this where everybody is not cool with it, but it can happen without fights happening. So, nigga, if I win this game at the end of the game, we finna come out here just like the coin toss. I'm gonna plant my flag in the middle of this because y'all lost. That's on you. That ain't on me.
100%. That you know what that is on? That's on coaching. And that's on having a disciplined squad, Ken. I see you shaking your head, but at the end of the day, look, I understand that it's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of knuckleheads at that age group. It's a lot of knuckleheads that you have to try to corral. I get all that, and I'm not saying that. That's the reason why these head coaches get paid so much. Typically, they're the highest paid person in their state, because a lot of these big college programs, Ken, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Who the hell is in Ann Arbor, Michigan, bro? That head coach is the highest paid person in that damn city, bro. You know what I'm saying? We look at all of these little small towns and stuff, man. They're by far the highest paid person. You get paid that for a reason. And part of that is to have your squad disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, the NCAA needs to step in, because look, these players now make money. Oh, you're going to get fined. You're going to get suspended. You're going to have to pay some of that bread. You have to pay a $10,000 fine, $15,000 fine. And I guarantee you that it's not going to stop it all away, but it'll help give the coaches another tool in that tool belt to be able to corral these guys and be able to get them disciplined.
My thing before,
bro, you can give Ryan Day Batman's tool belt and he still ain't win that damn game, bro.
Hey, Lou, the only there's no way to getting disrespect out of planting a flag in someone else's backyard. The only way you could do it, kid, you gotta have if we're gonna do designated teams or designated people to if we win, this is the person who does it. It gotta be like a Make-A-Wish kid. They're
gonna knock him down.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't knock him down. You can't knock down.
That's the thing about it.
If you do that,
so win the fucking game, because if this happens, if you lose, we got a designated time, just like the coin toss after the game. They finna come out here and plant this flag on your field, and you have to be cool with it. That's the NCAA should implement that rule. Get everybody off the field. Boom. I'm finna plant this flag. You lost the rivalry, nigga. That's on you. And just be cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I'm
100.
fine with. I'm fine with even if they fight. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with you there. I'm cool either way. Like I don't care if they fight.
We not. Well, that's the thing is like that's the one thing I kind of hate about American culture to a certain extent is how fucking hypocritical it is. For the like, we're talking about gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking not only just gladiators based off the sport, but we're also talking about gladiators that don't like each other. These rivalries, like FIFA and y'all said, bro, these go deep. These go deep. My bro,
Hundreds of years.
I grew up into the Ohio State, Michigan shit.
Right.
Like I didn't even know about all this shit until you just learn about it. So you mean to tell me that we gonna be peaceful when these niggas win on our block doing all types of shit? Come on, bro. It make no fucking sense.
It's not about being peaceful. It's about restraint and discipline. You know what I'm saying? Now here's the thing. I'm also cool with the fighting too, because sometimes it's too difficult to control that emotion. Especially if it's a close fought game, and especially if they got some penalties either against them or the other team got they didn't throw penalties and stuff there's all sorts of types of things. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, like man, look, these rivalries go deep, but I think that there just needs to be some type of decorum that before the season starts. Hey, look. This is how it's gonna happen. You lose.
Fuck all that.
You lose.
Yeah.
Now, if it's
Soft.
It's like one of the players said. One of the players summed it up best for me. He said, "You had 60 minutes to fight me. You should have been fighting during them 60 minutes. Yeah. Don't come after the game trying to fight me because I'm playing my flag because I kicked your ass."
Well, I will say, Ohio State defense was fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Will Howard was the one who didn't fight.
Still lost.
He was like,
what I'm saying, you still lost though. Like, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because we celebrating, bro. You still fucking lost. And I don't blame dude from Ohio State for going out there and do that because you're not finna do this at my crib, bro. You're not about to do this. So I see both sides. I just think in order to prevent the fights for a sporting standpoint, do you just make it a thing like the coin toss?
Make it a wish, thing, bro. Make a wish plan.
Doing this.
make a wish plan, boy. If somebody's pepper spraying that little boy in a wheelchair, that's they going too. That's I'm with you.
Pepper spray.
The little boy in the wheelchair shouldn't have been out there, man.
He'll come out there in his crutches. One of the damn flags would be a crutch.
What you doing out here, little nigga? We doing grown man shit.
You foul as hell, boy.
Bro. Watching the second half of that game, I just don't know how they lost that game. I know how they lost the game. I felt so bad for Jack Sawyer, bro. He made a hell of an interception.
I thought that was the play of the game. I was like, bro,
he should have took it, and he tried to juke. I think if he would have tried to outrun the guy, he probably could have gotten down the field. But
he a white man. He's a white linebacker. Ain't no, he only know a juke joint.
Nick, I'm not lying. I'm with you, bro. I thought that was play of the game. I was like, oh, that's it right there.
The funny thing is, they was hyping him up earlier that game. Like, he's a senior. He's been like here for a minute. Like, he's been trying to like whatever. He was dealing with something, and then he made the fucking play just for Will Howard goofy ass to get that bitch.
Are y'all talking about number 33? For Ohio State?
The white linebacker.
He on defense? White guy.
He the one that started the fight. He the one that ran out there. And
he went out there fighting.
As he should.
He started.
He was mad.
As he should. He made the play of the game, bro. There's no way Ohio State should have lost that game. With all that talent on the wide receiver talent. They got damn near the same talent as the Bengals, wide receiver wise.
Yeah. Ryan, they got scared when Will Howard threw their interception in the red zone. And they got the ball back again in the red zone. He got scared. I think he ran it like twice and then called some safe play. I think he had a run on third down and tried to kick the field goal and missed the damn field goal.
That was on Ohio State coach. That's where it goes back to that conversation FIFA brought up as far as like that reveals coach because they got scared for Will Howard because he kept on throwing picks at the wrong time, like in the red zone. So like, let's just run the ball. And it was just like, oh yeah, that was right after the interception. It was like after even Joe Clapp was like, hold on. After the interception, you do a run, a draw play, and then another. It was like some goofy shit. Like, what the fuck y'all doing?
Yeah, Ryan Day was playing it too way too safe for me, and that's why he's probably going to be out of there after that.
I was just about to say, to y'all's point, Ryan Day is going to win they're going to win the CFB college football championship. Oh they gonna win and he'll be back.
Who they gonna beat?
Yeah.
They got the easiest. They're now going to have one of the easiest routes to get to the championship. Watch Ohio State be in the championship game, and they ain't gonna be able to fire him. Even if he make it to the championship game and not win it, they're not gonna be able to fire him.
If he makes it there, he has to make it there. They're not gonna fire him.
If y'all had to bet y'all week salary on what team wins, Ohio State is the best team in this tournament.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
No,
Who better
bro.
than them?
I'll say Texas before I say Ohio
Everybody.
Stop.
Because unlike Ohio State, if our QB shitty, Lou, we going to a Manning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
we going to a fucking Manning right now.
Ohio State gonna be the best team in the college football playoff.
nah. I think Tennessee could get them. I think Alabama could get them if they get in. Georgia can get them, and I'm with everybody else on Texas. Texas can get them.
Lou,
South
roster
Carolina
wise,
get in. South Carolina gonna get them.
everybody but the quarterback, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Ohio State is that program, is that team. But Will Howard can't do it. We've seen it, bro. We've seen it so much. There's too much talent, and he fuck it up.
Bro, he just got to win 3 or 4 games. And
Okay.
that's it.
That's hard to do. You saying it like it's easy.
Look, but we're talking about a team that has an NFL roster on offense at least. I don't know about the defense, but we're talking about the receivers. True. But we're talking
And a
about the
707 quarterback.
and the talent that they're gonna be facing in these type of games. Ohio State gonna have the best chance of winning the tournament.
All right. Okay.
Michigan
Super chat
beat
from right. And this was the man. This was the year. I just knew
Michigan
that.
beat them.
Yeah. And they don't have a quarterback. They don't even have a coach. I'm sorry.
I'm about to, they always say I'm talking too much shit about black coaches. I was gonna let them. I was gonna let them breathe.
Nick, you was thinking it. You can say it about him, Nick.
Nah, he deserves his flowers. He got his win.
Yeah. It was a rocky season, but he salvaged it in the end. Guys, if you are a player that is being recruited by Mario Cristobal of Miami and Ryan Day OSU, who do you commit to tomorrow?
Ohio State.
Give me.
It depends on what position. If I'm a wide receiver, I'm going to Ohio.
It
Ohio
don't
State.
matter. I'm going to Ohio State over Miami.
You know why I'm going to Miami?
Miami has won 11 games. They not even about to make the college football playoff.
I don't give a damn.
Ohio State is going to be there every year,
I'm not
lose to
playing
Michigan or not.
I'm not playing in that snow, bro. I could be playing.
That's what I'm thinking too,
thousands of
people.
dollars. I'm going to Miami.
You speaking as a tropical being like I am. You're right. If
No,
weather
no,
the only
no,
thing,
no,
look, people, if weather is
is
the only thing that I got to do with
the only thing. No. Whoa. First of all, my boy, you don't have state tax. That's number one. So you get a little bit more coin in your pocket. That's number one.
I'm a kid.
Money,
I'm 18.
important.
I don't give a fuck about none of that, FIFA. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro.
I get what you're saying.
I'm at 18, bro. At 18, I don't give a fuck about Texas, bro.
At 18 in Miami.
Or I'm 18 in Ohio State.
Wait, hold on. Do y'all remember when Jerry Rice's nephew, I can't remember his he played basketball after you? Bro, I was outside this man. Everywhere I went, I saw this guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Blinged out this, that, and the third. Are you kidding me? 18, 19, you making at least $500,000 a year in Miami?
Don't
Hold on, Lou.
You know how many millionaires it is in Miami?
It doesn't matter, though.
Nigga, if I can go to Columbus, Ohio, and be the richest nigga, Nick, to your point, do I need to be the richest nigga? Do I need to be the richest nigga in the biggest town, or do I need the big fish in the small pond? I would go to Columbus, make my millions off NIL, and I'm gonna do a lot better than I am in Miami.
Lou, you tripping. First and foremost, you are going to live a very lavish lifestyle off of whatever NIL deal that you have. That's number one. Number two, the quality of life. You can't tell me wherever the hell Ohio State is better than Miami. Miami's top 3 in quality of life, top 5 quality of life, especially at that age group, bro.
But
are you serious?
The only thing I would say, FIFO, is just maximizing your opportunity for future success. Because right now, obviously there's no fucking. We've seen what LeBron decided, let alone an 18-year-old when he's between Ohio and Miami. So my thing is this, though, is like if I'm going to Ohio State to lose points, like that's a bigger program. I'm always going to be on TV. And I'm not talking about just like regular every now and then ESPN and shit. I'm talking about it's big, the whole network is behind Ohio State, Michigan, Ohio State, whatever. So like, and on top of that, if I'm a wide receiver, it's wide receiver you. What wide receiver ain't a first round pick that don't come out of there? So not only am I making bread and I'm fucking all the bitches, the baddest bitches in Columbus, Ohio. And obviously, I'm a little biased here. But there's some biddies out in Columbus, Ohio, bro. You would think you in Miami.
Hey,
it's just crazy.
Hey, listen, it's biddies from Miami that go to Ohio State. I'm still getting some of that in there.
Yo, Miami is Miami, and there's no other place in America that's like it. That's number one,
bro.
Look,
you're saying that as a grown ass man, though. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that as a grown ass man.
No. I'm talking to you as a person that was 16, 17, 18, 19 years old in Miami. And if I could have had the prestige of playing for the U and having the bag, I'm thinking Miami all day.
Hey, I visited both places. I visited both places.
Shelton, last word.
Give me Miami.
All right. Well, let's go to Denver. As we move to the NFL, man, the Denver Broncos defeated the Cleveland Browns in an unexpected shootout at home, 41-32. Do we need to start showing some love to Sean Payton and Bo Nix?
Hell yeah. Well, first and foremost, you can. First and foremost,
No.
Who else calls Sean Payton? You too, Nick. I know there's a third person. Raise your hand.
It ain't me.
Oh, okay.
I had Sean Payton in my coaches of the year, and I had Bo Nix as my surprise rookie of the year.
I didn't have Sean Payton that high, but y'all was tripping talking about Sean Payton trash. Now y'all got to talk about it.
I ain't saying
trash. I ain't gotta say nothing. I ain't gotta say nothing. People get them, people.
This is Sheldon. Go ahead.
To be out the league.
They're not trash, but I'm not gonna give them a whole lot. You know,
exactly.
You beat the Browns, the Raiders, the Falcons. You lost the games and the Panthers. Those were the last. Oh, and the Saints. Those were their wins. So they're beating teams that they should beat. And I'm not going to give you. I give you credit, but I'm not going to give you all the credit for that when you're losing to like the beginning of the season.
But at the beginning of the season, did we even anticipate them? Were they a squad that was supposed to beat their squad? I don't think that's we didn't know that.
I would say I would argue people we had no expectations of them in general.
Like, right, and I still don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like that hasn't changed.
I still don't see them beating a contender, and that's any of them. That's any of the teams that we know right now that are contenders. I don't see this team beating them.
But we know, but here's the thing though, where Denver is right now in their process, they're not supposed to be beating contenders.
None of these teams are contenders.
They're not.
I understand that, but they're not even. But these aren't even teams that they're supposed to beat. Based off of what your analysis was, oh, Sean Payton washed. He shouldn't be in the league. This, that, and the third. He got rid of a good quarterback in Russell Wilson. All of this type of stuff. And then here he comes. Y'all didn't like Bo Nix either. And here he comes with a quarterback that fits what he wants to do, the way he sees offense. And now they're having a level of success, building a foundation for the future. Because, no, they're not world beaters. No, they're not contenders. Because I didn't even – first of all, I know that I didn't anticipate them being good, but I knew that Sean Payton wasn't washed, and I thought Bo Nix was going to be all right. And that's what we're seeing. In fact, they're ahead of schedule. You know why? Because they are good. They are good and maybe a little bit above good in positions that are necessary to be viable in the league. They have a shutdown corner, arguably the best corner, in my opinion, the best corner. Sauce loss, that's all another conversation.
Argument.
It's still an argument, but for the last couple years, give me the guy out there. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
You mean the same guy last year gave up
Jerry
70?
Judy, yeah, or last night, yeah, Jerry Judy ate him alive. So I can't.
Jerry Judy had like 200. He got like
200 some yards.
He got like 500 yards in a game.
Jerry Judy had more yards in that one game than he damn near had his whole career. So
that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's a hell of a stat.
Hey, Nick, that moved him 12th on receiving list to 5th. I'm like, God, no, in one game.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He
And
had a
if
personal
the
vendetta.
Jameis don't throw two to the other team, we talk about a whole different game.
Yep,
we didn't even
it's a
talk
different
about that.
conversation.
Yeah, we're not even having this
No.
conversation.
No, 100%. But look, let's stay on Denver real quick. I think Denver is good at the positions that you need to be good at to build a foundation.
What
And
are
that's
those?
what we're seeing.
What are those?
Quarterback, they have a
Okay.
quarterback that they believe in. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I'm saying the head coach believes in him. They have a good head coach. They have a pass rusher, and they have a guy on the outside that can take away or defend your best wide receiver. You have that as a foundation. You have the building blocks to build something for the future.
So for me, this reminds me a lot of Mac Jones' first year in New England, where it's a QB no one thought that was going to be really, no one really gave a fuck
It's
about.
not Mac Jones. It's not no Mac Jones situation, though.
I'm just hold on, FIFA. I'm saying like it feels just like that because he goes to a team that's all about defense or mostly known for its defense. He goes with an old school head coach who's won a title or at least comes from a championship experience. And in his rookie year, they probably gonna win 10 games, just like the Pats did with Mac Jones and losing the first round. And everybody's gonna be like, all right, we got a quarterback for the future. The reason why I bring up Mac Jones is because I feel like his ceiling is his floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Bo Nix, this is the best Bo Nix. That pass that he had to Mims,
Yeah, that's
gonna be a pick in the
That's
playoffs going into next year. Like, that's the best you're gonna see him. Because I don't, again, especially in the AFC, especially even in that division, he's the third best quarterback in that division. And that's not saying shit.
And they're in third place.
And they're going to be in third place because we know the Raiders ain't got shit until they get Shador or whoever else. And then he may be the fourth best quarterback after that. So my thing is, depending on, who they get as head coach. But to me, that's why I'm just like, I'll give Sean Payton a little bit more credit than I did coming into the season because he does have them well over 500. And they beating the teams that they supposed to beat. But like Shelton read down the list, bro, we seen them when they look like when they face real competition. They get dusted. It ain't even
because they're not ready. Because they're not
They ain't got the
there
roster
yet.
to face real competition.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
I don't think that speaks to Bo Nix' talent. I
Thank you.
wouldn't put him at third in that division so quickly. Like
so
who's to say that
who you got him over?
he can pass Herbert.
Oh man,
That's
Nah.
Y'all acting like what is Justin Herbert? What is Justin Herbert did? What how are we gonna put him? He's head and shoulders above Bo Nix. Bo Nix is coming out having a great rookie season.
Bo Nix is only played.
And he got better coaching.
He's only played 14 games, Lou. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, first of all,
you're telling me that he's third currently in
now.
the position. That's just not true.
No. He got Harbaugh now. So now I can honestly say that if you don't believe that Harbaugh is not better than Sean Payton, they're at least on equal level. They're at minimum, they're on equal level. So that cancels each other out. Hold on, Shelton, before you throw out the facts. Another thing about Justin Herbert is this. He has the intangibles that you cannot teach or coach. He has the prototypical size. He has the prototypical arm.
Who does?
We know. Wait, hold on. We know. Yeah, Herbert. Yes. We know that a lot of the issues as to the wins and losses wasn't necessarily on Herbert's shoulders. Now, I'm not going to absolve him of all of the losses, and I'm not going to give him credit for all of the wins. But a lot of that came down to late game management, and we know that that's the reason why they got a new head coach right now. And what's happening this season? Those games that we're used to the Chargers losing, they're winning now. And there's a reason for that. Because the coaching and the decision-making when it matters most is sound now. So, again, it comes back to looking at player for player. Justin Herbert has things that Bo Nix can only imagine to do, that he'll never be able to do. He don't have that arm. He don't have that stature. He don't have that presence. Bo Nix is more than a serviceable quarterback, but he's lucky he has a quarterback guru as a head coach right now.
Bo Nix, Brock Purdy 2.0.
Stop it.
I say a little bit better than that.
Bo Nix got iOS 18.
That's not true. The Broncos are 8-5. The Chargers are 8-4. Like we're not talking. We're
talking about quarterback.
Bo Nix got 8. Bo Nix got 8 interceptions.
Y'all are telling, and this is Bo Nix.
Huh? Cortland Sutton is better than any wide receiver that the Chargers got.
Say that again, Shelton.
Bo Nix has 8 interceptions. Justin Herbert has 1.
And they still got 4 losses. What do y'all tell?
Cortland
Like,
Sutton.
you can't tell me that Bo Nix is not on the same
Chargers.
path. You can't tell me that Bo Nix is not on the same path that Herbert was on, and then we fell off of Herbert for a little bit because he had a bad coach. That's fine, but still, Bo Nix is doing the thing. I have the same record as the dude y'all are saying is the second best quarterback in this division. He can do what Herbert is doing. He's proven it in his rookie year.
If you're talking about just winning, again, we only got
that's what
14
it's all
games.
about.
No, I'm saying we're talking about just winning. It's only 14
all we have to
games
talk about is
sample, bro.
winning when you talk about quarterbacks.
No, but I'm just saying we only have a 14 game sample with Bo Nix, bro. We ain't even see the
That's fine.
Sheldon, they got
That's
they
fine.
gonna get the tape on them next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
You think
It's
this
not
shit
gonna
gonna
be
be
sweet, Nick.
With the sample that you guys have from Herbert, he ain't done nothing to impress you. Nick, you was just shitting on him last season for his lack of accomplishment and what he was doing.
So imagine how you think I feel about Bo Nix. If I'm
Right.
defending
That's what I was thinking.
That's the only thing that's the answer I'm gonna give you, Lou. How much you think I give a fuck about Bo Nix if you think I'm defending Justin Herbert and say you blasphemous when you were saying that?
Well, let's look at the other quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Definitely one of the best quarterback interviewers to ever play the game. Love the never go full Jameis because that's hilarious. Yeah, man. Look, I think should they bring him back? Should the Browns bring him back next year as a starter?
Yeah, they have to.
They draft the QB.
They can't
Draft
draft a QB.
They can't.
Why not?
Because I don't even know if the head coach is still going to be there. We don't know if the GM still going to be. It's going to be too much going on. Like, you got to keep him for a bridge quarterback.
You have to make this work. Yeah.
Yeah. At least I'm just saying for one more year, people. They're going to be shitty again next year. So they can
But
draft.
okay, but why delay the process of getting the QB of the future? Why delay that?
Because
process?
the definition of insanity. Yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over.
I got to pay Deshaun Watson.
You got to pay Deshaun.
But
you got Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Good.
Okay, look. Obviously, they don't believe in him, or else he would have been playing over Jameis, right? They don't believe in Dorian to that degree. Exactly. So then, why not get a quarterback now? Because by the time you have to because look, here's the thing: when Deshaun Watson got hurt, he's gonna at the earliest be back is at the same point that he left this season. Sit him out. Let the rookie play. And you'll know what you got. Because here's the thing. We've talked about it ad nauseum here. With how much money they owe Deshaun Watson. By the time you have to make a decision on that rookie quarterback as to are we going to keep him or we're not going to keep him, Deshaun's up.
But who are you going to get, FIFO? Who are you going to draft? Who are you going to draft? Look at the quarterbacks. Who are you going to get?
It depends. So where are they drafted right now?
I think they're top 5, top 6.
I think
who's worth that pick and taking that chance on this year?
Cam
they're 8th.
Cam, he gonna be gone by that. It depends. Yeah, he could be gone by that time.
He could be. I think Cam and Shador are the top 2 quarterbacks that's gonna be taken. So it could be the Raiders and the Giants. Boom, boom.
That's what I was saying. Like
2 and 3.
If the Browns are not top 3, then I would bring
yes. 100%.
Right now, the Browns are 8th.
Yeah.
So it depends. So if the Browns have a top 3 to top 5 pick, and
not
depending
even 5,
on whoever's picking, it depends on who's picking above them. Not everybody needs a quarterback right now. So it depends on who's picking above them. But if you can get one of those 2 quarterbacks,
real quick, you have the Titans, the Jets, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Giants, the Raiders, and the Jaguars picking above them.
Jags, Panthers,
Patriots,
Jags, Panthers, Patriots.
They're not taking quarterbacks.
Jets, Titans.
Jets, Titans are.
They're
Raiders.
projected.
Jets, I feel like are 50-50. Raiders 100%.
Jets better. I think it was good.
Giant, that's what my whole point of saying this is like I wouldn't even want to draft the quarterback this year because, like you said, by the time Watson's contract is done and they move off of it, we talking about that rookie deal is 3 years in, and you may have to pay him by the next. So you're gonna get into another high-end contract right after getting off books. Like,
well, remember you have a 5th-year option.
By that time, you kicking if the QB's
ain't
worth
no
it.
fifth year off.
If the QB's worth it, by the time we doing a fifth year option, well, if we haven't picked up the fifth year option by year 3, then we wasted a pick.
Right.
And
they're not going to draft a QB.
And if we kick the can, on paying them,
there's only 2 QBs. So let me clarify my statement.
They're gone.
If you're not taking Cam or Shador, then yes, you bring back James.
okay.
Yeah.
But if you can get one of those 2, you better take one of them 2.
I agree with that, but that's not going to happen. You got, like you said, you got the Giants and the Raiders. They're going to get those guys. Those guys are going to be gone. The first 3 picks are
somebody trading up. The Giants are definitely going to trade up.
Them 2
Ravens.
Travis.
He said the
Raiders.
Oh.
My last thing with Jameis is like the only caveat, or the only I guess bad thing about bringing him back is that you're gonna continue to get these speeches and these post games. Show that the niggas sound like if Muhammad Ali quit boxing and became a Waffle House cook, that's what Jameis Winston is.
If there was ever any nigga that needed to do an in-season podcast and play games,
it'll be him.
He need to capitalize off of this and being Jameis Winston. Like all that shit Michael Parsons is doing and Jeff Teague is doing, and
we don't care about
all
none of that.
Like and Jalen Brunson, like Jameis Winston need to be doing the off-season or in-season social media and podcasting. Like he'll make.
What's the name of the podcast?
What's the name of the podcast? Eat the W. Eat the W. Eat the W. Eat the W. Eat the W podcast every week, bro. I'm tuning in for that every week, people. I promise you.
He's about to be on the Hard Knocks too. Well, you know that whole division is, but I can't wait to see the Hard Knocks.
I was so hyped for that Hard Knocks at the start of the season, but I was like, I can't wait to see what this thing is. I got the Bengals gonna be going crazy. I'm like, I'm gonna get the clips. I'll just get the clips from y'all.
Jameis Winston is a star. He's a star in this.
But the thing is, like, he's been a star. It's just that he's one of the stars that we like, where he was a big star in college, then it dwindled when he got to the league, and now he's a big star again. So he knows the up and downs and shit. That's why it's even interesting what he be saying, because he had to come back to be in the spot he is now. It's just he's just a talented goofball. It's definitely like Bobby Boucher.
But it works. It really does work.
And Nick, you hit the nail on the head. It's one of the things that people appreciate nowadays with all the, like, everybody trying to be so politically correct. He's one of the dudes is like, I'm going to tell you like how I feel. I don't even know how it registers with everybody else, but this is how I feel. And that's what people gravitate towards. Like he's going to be a star in the media aspect of this, like doing the shit that Draymond Green do and all this shit. Like he's going to be the person that does it. And like, oh shit.
Yeah. I just pray the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. That
was awesome, man. The Lord got to help me from this, bro.
He was fine until he said, "That's just not me."
That's what he fucked
the crazy thing about it, he was dead serious though. He ain't trolling. He ain't trying to do social media shit. Like this is him. That's what makes it so great. The authenticity of what he does. Like it's like listening to that nigga explain the snow game last week. Like it's insane. Like I fuck with James, bro.
I do too.
Oh. All right.
I want to hear that.
Let's talk about another one of y'all favorite coaches. And let's talk about one that's quickly becoming a few folks here in Atlanta's not so favorite coach. Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers secured a close victory on the road against the Atlanta Falcons 17-3. Is it time to have a conversation about Raheem Morris? And absolutely yes. Yes. Yep. This man, bro. It's just it's not there, Shelton. It's not there, Shelton.
Is it Raheem or is it Kirk?
Kirk is who he is. Everybody knew that.
That's what I'm saying. We can't even yell at Kirk. I already cursed him out. I cussed him out a few weeks ago.
Everybody didn't know that because the Falcons would have gave him $100 million if they knew what he looked like.
They knew that. They knew that, Spike.
They didn't.
They knew that.
They did know that, Luke, because the owner came downstairs after that shit. He was like, what the fuck you got me doing? Paying this goofy ass nigga and you gonna draft the QB. He was upset. We need to have
they
a
know
conversation. I told y'all.
They didn't know he was washed.
We all knew he was washed. He was washed before he got there.
He was.
But look,
He
no,
was.
that's not on Raheem Morris. That's on the GM though. Raheem Morris don't pick talent, bro. So you can't put him on the line with a job and say, oh, you can't tell him, oh, bro, you're fired because Kirk Cousins is bad. He gonna be like, well, bro, y'all told me he was good. Bro, y'all gave him $100 million.
You know how this shit go. The coach is gonna go before the GM, unless you got some huge cachet, which he don't.
It's tough right now though because they're in first place. So
barely
by default
going to the playoffs.
It is by default, but it's still.
And I told y'all coming into the season, y'all called me a hater, but what I always say, Ken, I'm only a hater because I'm saying it early. I said Raheem Morris gotta win this division, and he gotta do something. Make this team look better. It is.
What if he backdoor his way into winning the division? That's still not winning the division. I mean, technically it is, but it's not like you dominated. Like you were 6-3, you lost 3 straight. You lost to the division rival, the Saints, which you should not have lost to. You lost to the Broncos of all teams, and then you lose to the Chargers off of a dumbass pick 6.
He threw 5 picks.
4. It depends on how much. It depends on how much control he has of that situation, because he may be asking for Michael Penix to play right now, and the front office might be like, "Nah, he ain't ready." It depends on how much control he has over this situation and his stance on it. Now, if he's the one that's fighting for Kirk Cousins to keep his job and it's not going well, then you can kind of look at him crazy, but you don't know who's controlling this. You don't know if this is a coach's decision or a front office decision. So
Sheldon, but we already know how it's going to end. We already know how it's going to end with black coaches, bro. He getting up out of there, and they're going to bring in some white man to coach this team. My thing, I told you, I was like, look, he got to do it right. And I think he tried to hedge his bet by drafting Penix, but Penix, like, I don't think he'll start this weekend because they're going to Minnesota, so they want to give Kirk Cousins his little revenge game. But after that, bro, if they lose that game, which we more likely they will, Penix got to start for the rest of the season, bro. Because at this point, you got to see what the rookie look like, and he gonna look better than Cousins because at least he can move.
You're putting Penix on the field after you gave Cousins $100 million.
Yes, you have to.
What's your next play then? So Penix goes out, he plays well. Are you going to cut Cousins and just pay him his money?
No. He can still be there.
He'll. They both. They. You know, it's proven that you need.
And y'all think Cousins will be cool with that?
He don't have a choice.
He ain't got no choice.
It's proven that
he getting paid.
Yeah, it's proven that you need 2 quarterbacks in this league today in most situations. Ain't too many of these guys Iron Man unless you can't be touched like Patrick Mahomes. So that's another story. But you need 2 quarterbacks today to be successful, and you do have to make a move, or you risk losing this team and not making no sense whether you make it to the playoffs or not. So
it ain't even all that. It ain't even all that. The same shit you just asked me, Lou. They had the same conversation when Arthur came downstairs and he was like, "What the fuck you drafted Michael Penix for?" So for months they've already been sitting on the possibility of, if this shit starts looking bad, we have somebody that we can replace him easy with. That's already a part of our future. So my thing is this, Lou. If like Ken said, they lost 3 in a row so far. If they lose 4 in a row, at this point now there's the Bucks, who are, Baker's playing way better than Cousins. They could, and they the funny thing is that Atlanta has a tiebreaker over them, but if the Bucks get one more win over them, it's a wrap. So it's just like
they gotta be a full game in front of them. And
that's what I'm saying. Like one more win over them. Yeah. So my thing is like, if in a season where everybody picked the Falcons, or people even thinking like they could even make a legit somewhat of a run, if you don't even win your division, that has to fall on the head coach.
Nick, I ain't even gonna hold you. If I owned the team and you were the GM and you told me that you drafted Michael Penix because I just spent $100 million on somebody you're not sure of, you're getting fired once he don't do what I think he's supposed to do.
I don't see how that's fair.
There's no reason. How do you not? You spent $100 million as the GMs telling me that Kirk Cousins was the dude. Then, like what you said, I drafted Penix. I came and asked you about it, and you were like, okay, well, this is an insurance plan. And now I'm looking at this dude Kirk Cousins, who can't do shit. He can't move around. He's throwing the lowest velocity ever in the history of the NFL. He can't even throw a fastball to somebody. Like, we seen him. He looked like he was doing the Kobe shot to the trash can on one of those throws. And you telling me that this dude I spent $100 million on is supposed to take me wherever we supposed to go? No, you made a bad decision. I wasted $100 million on Kirk Cousins for no reason.
No,
you're in first place,
but I would say that they're still in first place. The other thing is, I will say
that's because the byproduct of the division is the worst in the league.
If that ain't got nothing to do with him, he's still
don't
in first
matter.
place.
He's
My
first
main,
place.
yeah,
That
my main
doesn't
thing-
justify $100 million. That
It does.
If
First place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It does
Yes,
not.
it does. It's
I
market
could have
value.
did
It's
this with
market.
Phoenix.
No, you couldn't. Market value for first place.
Who else is paying them that? Nobody in the league is paying them that. Ain't no
You had to pay him to get him. It's market value for first place. You're in first place.
Penix could have got him
Partly
first
because
place.
of him.
Thank you, FIFA.
We don't know that. We don't know
Penix
that.
did the same shit.
We don't know
my
that.
thing is,
Then why draft him? If we don't know that, why would I draft him?
because at the thing about it that I've come to understand and agree with is when are the Falcons ever going to be that high of a pick to get a player like that again after that? And if Kirk Cousins, but Monty Jones said this on this podcast, if Kirk Cousins is the reason why you don't draft a quarterback, then yeah, you should be fired off of that thought alone. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this: if I'm the GM of a restaurant and my cook and my head chef getting fucked up, the owner ain't gonna fire the GM first. He gonna fire the cook, and if we get another cook and he's still shitty, then we can start talking to the GM. So my thing is that's why Raheem Morris is gonna get let go, more than likely get let go if they do not win this division, because they ain't making the playoffs outside of that. The NFC is too stacked at this point.
You would fire the head coach over the GM?
Yes, because so far,
because the GM is the one that paid Kirk Cousins $100 million.
Yeah, the GM and we don't know how much of that was based off the head coach vouching for Cousins or not. Like how Shelton said, we don't know. We don't know. Listen, hold on. My whole thing
you
is
can't
this.
do that. You're straddling. You're doing a Shelton right now. You're straddling the fence. You can't tell me that the GM was the one that I acted like I wanted to hire this guy because the coach said it. But then when the time come to face up for what you did, I'm saying the coach told me to do this versus being the GM.
Two things can be true.
Both ways.
Two things can be true because again, we talked. I think we had talked about this or I read about it. Raheem Morris and Cousins, they got history or whatever. That's somebody he has history with, so it's not undeniably like implausible that he wouldn't vouch for him. And on top of that, Lou, if it's between me, if it's between me and your job or you and some other nigga job, bro, you saying let that nigga go first. You know, say I gotta get paid. Fuck all that shit.
Do we know who made the decision? Because we're looking at the coach, we've thrown out the GM, the owner. So it hasn't been revealed yet whose decision it was to sign Kirk Cousins.
We don't know who the biggest supporter in the room. Of course, it's the GM, like Lou said, it's the GM signature on all the shit to make it go. But we don't know who the big. We don't know who the big. It's the
GM's job.
But my other point that I was going to make is that the GM has done a great job putting this team together for the most part. You can't tell me this roster ain't a good roster.
So that being said, if the GM went and got all of these pieces, including Kirk Cousins, and he feels like this is enough to win, and the guy on the sidelines isn't doing that, then he got to go.
He got to go.
I still.
GM or the coach?
First off, I think
coach.
I think that Raheem Morris is going to get more than 1 year. He ain't going nowhere this year. I don't care what nobody says.
If you can't win the division when it's shitty, why we expect you to win it when it's good?
It really just depends because I don't think that him and Kirk Cousins are hitched together at the hip. And that's basically what we're saying because you take Kirk Cousins' picks away and the decisions that he's made in these last few games, and a lot of that falls on his shoulders. He's the one that's going to be the one that's the scapegoat. Out of all of this, Kirk Cousins is the person that they're looking at. The Falcons don't have deficiencies all over the field. They have a glaring issue at quarterback. So when you look at it from that perspective, a coach can only do so much. It really just depends on how much, like I said, how much control he has over this situation. When to pull the trigger.
So I want to make sure I understand what you're saying, Sheldon. If you were the owner of the Falcons, you would be cool with the coach and the GM keeping their job and we getting rid of the quarterback.
Yeah, if that's what the issue is, yes, of course.
Sheldon, the only time I've only seen this happen twice, maybe in the someone can add in the chat, can correct me if I'm wrong. I've only seen that twice a franchise has chosen a head coach of a quarterback. That was Sean McVay with the Rams and Bill Belichick with the Pats. That's the only 2 times. They both white men, so you already know they doing it.
Yeah. Well, you saw it too in Denver. You said Sean. Did you say Sean Payton?
I meant to say Sean McVay. If I said, I said Sean McVay with the Rams.
Yeah,
Bill
they
Belichick
did with Sean Payton too with Russ. They got Russ up out of there. They didn't fire Sean Payton because Russ was playing bad. They didn't fire. It's not always the coach.
Russ had a shitty season before that, so they was already kind of clean at house anyway. They gave Russell Wilson 1 more year to prove himself.
And Kirk Cousins. We saw Chicago kept Eberflus after the Justin Fields stuff. I mean, it was their fault, and they did keep him too long. There's been times.
Yeah, they did. They got him up out of there with the quickness.
Mm-hmm. And it's been times. It's been times where the quarterback just has had to go. Deshaun had to go. Well, coach left foot there too, but it's other instances where the quarterback goes, but the coach stays. So
and he'll be 37 next year. He has a 4-year contract.
First 2 years only guaranteed, Ken, though.
So he'll probably get a year and a half. But look, it's not over yet. After they lose to Minnesota this weekend, they have the Raiders, the Giants, and the Panthers, and then the Commanders in there too. So they got a chance to right the ship and win the division. So
they should
yeah, they should. You have to go 3-1.
Yeah, you got to go 3 for 4.
You cannot lose to the Raiders, Giants, or the Panthers. I'm sorry. So anyway, let's move on to the Eagles, man. The Eagles secured an impressive win on the road against the Baltimore Ravens, 24-19. It wasn't as close as the final score indicates. Are the Eagles the most complete team in the NFC? Hey, look, Spike. Was that you sighing like that? Groaning?
It was.
It was definitely Lou.
I tried to prep you for it.
I heard Eagles, and I just zoned out. I'm sorry, Ken. My bad. I didn't mean to do that while you was reading it. My bad.
Well, you up then? What say you?
No, they're not. Like this is the same shit they did last year, and they went to the playoffs and got beat by the Vikings. Is that what it was, Sheldon?
What you mean got beat by the Vikings?
This is not the same thing like they did
beat by the Vikings.
They got beat by the Bucks.
Oh, excuse me, the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield got beat by them after having a phenomenal postseason. I still don't believe Jalen Hurts is that dude. I still don't believe that they're going to be able to do what they need to do. They don't have a good head coach in Nick Sirianni. It's all been masked behind the great job that the GM has been doing. They got good players on the field. When it gets to playoff time and they got to play a real team, we're going to see what the Eagles are really about. And it's not
what were the Ravens? What were the Ravens? Yeah, hold on. I have 2 questions. What were the Ravens? I thought they were a real team. And 2, this is not about Jalen Hurts, bro. Spike, the best thing they've done is take it out of Jalen Hurts' hands.
Yes,
true. I agree with you there.
The other thing too.
I agree with you there. Real quick, real quick. I just want to say this. He said, "What about the Ravens?" He said, "What about the Ravens?" Justin Tucker had been making the kicks like he was supposed to. They would have lost that game.
Oh my God!
No,
y'all would have lost the game.
No, they wouldn't.
No, not at all.
Before there you go.
See,
got the floor.
No. And this is the reason why I needed to go before you said that asinine shit right there. Because last year they were descending. No, they're not. What do we?
They're not ascending right now. They're not ascending right now. Like,
go ahead.
I'm done with Luke.
Fuck the Eagles.
Let me tell you the difference, Lou. Let me tell you the biggest difference, Lou.
You got Shelton talking now.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was just gonna let it get all out. But there's a couple of differences to this year's team and last year's team. The biggest difference is the defense. It's not a question
Y'all got
with
this white boy
what's-
linebacker that y'all claim is great.
He's not a
Y'all think
linebacker.
Browner,
He's not a linebacker.
I
He's
ain't
a-
talking about
he's
him.
a
I'm talking
nickel.
about 53. I'm
He's
talking about
a
the white
Braun.
boy they claiming is
Vaughn
great.
is black, bro.
He ain't shit. Nah, I'm
He's
talking
black.
53.
He's black. Yes, and he has
Yeah,
better stack than Luke Kuechly had the year he won Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if you know that, but he has more tackles at this point than Luke Kuechly did the year he
You
won.
said Luke Coochie? What you say?
Kuechly. Luke Kuechly is my
I
favorite
don't
white
want Luke
boy.
Coochie, bro.
He got more
Yeah.
tackles than me. Okay,
That's a
cool.
lot. That's a
It's
lot.
Luke Kuechly. It's Luke Kuechly, bro.
It's Kuechly, bro. That was
Hey,
my guy with the Panthers.
Lil
Hey.
Coochie is what Drake be messing with. I don't
But,
know about all that.
Yep, he's Kuechly.
Yo,
He's Kuechly.
They trying to sell me this white boy linebacker number 53 is the best in the league. I don't believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's show Cook. What else you have?
You can go and it's bigger than more than anything. You see team unity. You see everybody pitching in and everybody stepping up and doing what they're supposed to do. I know you hate it, Lou. I know you do.
Team unity.
But let's talk. It means the world in this sport. Let me tell you a few players. I'm just gonna name a couple. I ain't even gonna name much. Let's talk about it. Start from the beginning. At the top, we can start with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter gets held more than any player in the NFL. They've been talking about it all day. I ain't even
How
go
did we get
through
here? Ken, take over. Get this shit out of his hands.
Jalen
man.
Carter
What are you talking about, bro?
is a monster. He's a beast at that level. Then we talk about Zach Barn being able to read defenses, make plays all over the field, be it intercepting passes, whatever. You got N'Kobe Dean hitting everything that moves. You got Cooper DeJean out there balling his mind out, hitting Derrick Henry like a truck, running him over. And you got Quinyon Mitchell locking down every receiver that's on his side of the board. We ain't even talking about the offense. We ain't even got to talk about Saquon. No, we don't have to talk about Jalen Hurts and what he does. We ain't got to talk about none of that stuff. All we doing is talking about the defense and how this team plays together. Them dudes be balling, bro, and they don't care who they playing against. They doing this on the road. These are road games that they're winning. These ain't home games.
This sounds like one of those commercials on Fox News that play at 12 and 1 a.m. in the morning, like just straight advertisement commercial where you're trying to sell pills and whatever the fuck it may be for the Eagles.
Yes, they're beating the Lions.
I'll say this: the two things that I would say that stand out the most. One, and it's the number one thing: Jalen Hurts is not turning the ball over like he did last year.
Yeah,
that's and that's primarily also with the fact that they got Saquon, so he just hands the ball off more than ever. And two, I will say the development of Jalen Carter, because people were borderline like, did they reach for him because he wasn't playing for his rookie year? He's balling now.
Yeah, he was a bust a couple of weeks ago.
Nah, he's been a monster all year, Ken.
Nah, wait, hold on, Nick. Nah, because y'all
all year.
No, I'm not saying that. What I want to say is I do recall there was a conversation about the Georgia players that were drafted.
Yes.
People were saying that
it was going into this year.
Well, whether it was this year, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether a couple of weeks ago, whatever. But I'm saying before the season, everybody thought them guys were bust. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
All right.
Well, they knew he had a lot of talent, but the issue with him was always been his maturity level and the fact that he couldn't stay on the field. Well, he's playing every single down, and every single down he's wreaking havoc in that lineup. Jordan Davis is a run stopper. Jordan Davis is great and higher than anybody on the defensive line, even though he only plays about half the snaps. You lost Brandon Graham, which hurt really bad, but those other defensive ends, Jalix Hunt, the third-round pick, he stepped up huge. You got the other Georgia guy, number 3, my boy, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he had a sack. He had a sack too. You got Sweat leading the team in sacks. Everybody's contributing to this, and you see a level of camaraderie, and you see what Vic Fangio does. He gets this team right every single time. The difference in the two teams between them and the Lions is the fact that if you lined up position by position, let's talk about the offensive lines. Detroit has an amazing offensive line, but they can't touch them Eagles. They can't touch the Eagles.
Let's not do that.
We're going to do it. Let me tell you why we're going to do it, Nick. Let me tell you why you got to do it, Nick. Saquon Barkley has rushed for almost 1,000 yards before first contact. When in the world have you ever heard of something like that?
That's
just that stat. Let's just talk about that.
You don't have to tell. I'm a Saquon fan because he came from where he came from. My thing is this. Sean, is I don't necessarily say you don't have an argument, but to say above and beyond the Lions, like, bro, the Lions have a phenomenal
The
line.
Lions have
No,
the
they do.
best offensive line in football. It's not even close.
Did you not hear what I just said?
I did.
Saquon has
I stopped listening when you said Eagles.
He's rushed for 1,000 yards before somebody even touched him. So what are we talking about here? Like,
And the
who
Lions,
else
the
is
Lions,
doing
but
that?
the Lions aren't all full healthy. That's a good point the chat makes. Like Adrian Hutchinson is the best defensive lineman between both teams.
So we're talking about them now. We ain't talking about that. We talking about who's available. We can't count the ones that's injured. Hutchinson is done for the year. We're talking about right now who's the better team.
And they still only got one loss.
Again, that's defensive
No,
line.
they
That's cool.
balling. They balling.
I'm talking about offensive line. The Lions have the best offensive line in football.
How so?
Easy.
How so?
Because both backs can get 1,000 yards.
Stats.
Yeah.
Look at the stats. It's right
What
there.
are you saying? He gonna get 2,000 by himself. So what are we saying?
Yeah, but like
a lot of that
yeah.
has to do with Saquon Barkley versus the Eagles' offensive line. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in football.
Ask
If I put him behind a line like
top
the
3
Eagles,
line, yeah.
Let me tell y'all
Yes,
a couple
who's going
of
to be
years
productive.
ago. A couple of years ago, I told you who I was talking about. Sanders being one of the best backs in the league because of his yards, right? He rests behind the same offensive line. This offensive line has 5 bona fide Pro Bowlers on it. You ain't gonna tell me that Detroit is better than these guys. I don't care what you say.
are though.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. I would take the Detroit.
Which defense would you take? I'm gonna say.
All right, well, I don't know if the offensive line conversation don't matter because they're both pretty damn good, and I think you can flip flop them depending on who you're talking to. Clearly, on this conversation, like I just looked it up, Pro Football Talk or whatever have the Lions #1 as of yesterday. So they may change it next week. I don't know. It's irrelevant. So, both lines are good. And I do agree that I think that Saquon has a lot to do with that stature, which is a phenomenal stat, Shelton, by the way. But the question I would have is, could Miles Sanders do the same thing?
Yeah. That Kenny could. Just that. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't even.
And if he could, then you got an argument. And then it's not necessarily Saquon. But anyway, let's move on.
We've seen this offensive line lose in the playoffs with the players that they had before they got Saquon Barkley. Yeah, they may do better this year because they have Saquon Barkley, but the offensive line is the offensive line. It's going to be what it's going to be. That they're not going to move forward. Like you're telling me that it's an all-time offensive line. That's just not true.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. You got to watch these games.
And
then let's flip it. We're gonna flip the other side.
Y'all still gonna argue about this offensive line?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm about to get off. I'm getting off the offensive line. Let's move on to the defense. Who has the better defense? Let's talk about that.
We've heard your stance on the defense.
Yeah, we don't matter. Yeah. Let's move on.
That's what I'm saying. So
I was gonna say the last thing about that last block was we're gonna have to have a conversation about Lamar Jackson sometime soon because you can't be a 2-time MVP, bro, and not win that game at home. I'm sorry.
Let's get on.
I'm
Lamar,
sorry,
man.
Nah, Shelton.
Bro,
Come on, man.
That's bad, bro.
Tucker
And we'll move to the Buffalo Bills Niners, but that was a bad loss.
Lamar Jackson did his job. If Tucker had did his job,
doing your job is winning the game. That's why we pay the big bucks. That's why I keep telling you.
I'm putting you in position. We have a Hall of Fame field goal kicker right here on our team.
Not anymore. He's been off all year.
First of all, he's going to the Hall of Fame still.
Okay, fine.
If I put you in position as Lamar Jackson to win this game and you missing the kicks, if he had made those kicks, they would have won the game.
Has Tucker been good all year?
No,
I'm not arguing that fact. All I'm arguing is y'all saying Lamar Jackson ain't doing what he's supposed to do, and he is.
If he had made those kicks, let's say he had made those kicks, you wouldn't have been in position even to get that last touchdown. No, they wouldn't, because they took their foot off the gas.
Hold on, so it ain't even about that.
Tell me they took their foot off the gas. That's not what football is about. If he had went there and made
a chance to score a touchdown,
Ravens would have won the game.
Lamar had a chance. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say.
It's simple mathematics.
I was going to ask Lou a simple question. Why do you kick field goals?
Because Lamar can't get in.
Because you didn't score a touchdown.
Lamar got sacked 2 times.
So that's on the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you're selling for field goals,
Lamar held the ball too long.
Bro, I pay you to be a kicker, and you're a Hall of Fame kicker. You're supposed to make those kicks, and if you make those kicks, it's a different game, and we win because you made the kicks that you were supposed to make.
Quinyon was locking up Flowers.
I don't want to hear about
Lamar
this
held
dude.
the ball too long.
You and Q keep hyping this dude like he fucking Deion Sanders, bro. I don't want to hear his name no more.
He the new sauce. That's what he is.
He Mac sauce.
Oh man,
my bad. We gotta move on.
the Buffalo Bills. Why are we even talking about this game, bro? The Buffalo Bills destroyed the San Francisco 49ers at home 35-10 in an old school blizzard game. Are the Bills the clear-cut second best team in the AFC? Yeah. Or should they be the best team in the AFC?
They play like they want to be mentioned as the best team. Because here's the thing, right? Like I know the AFC team that we are not mentioning, but mentioning are the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they only have one loss as of today. And a lot has to do because of that defense. Pat Mahomes has been off, but when you need him, he comes through. We know that he is extremely clutch. They're going for a 3-peat, for God's sake. So we know what they are. But the Bills, they've had a slight up and down road. But Ken, you look at what Josh Allen is doing. I think he catapulted himself to the MVP, leading the MVP vote, in my opinion, after that game. We have to have the conversation. They're in the conversation for best team in the AFC, and they are vying for the number one seed in the AFC. Not to say anything bad about Kansas City, because until you beat them, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, especially in the playoffs when it matters most. But right now we're talking regular season. And them boys is balling, man. Them boys is balling. But I think the bigger story, in my opinion, is the 49ers. It's not even the Bills. I didn't think at the beginning of the season that their championship window is closed. That thing's a bank vault, bro. And nobody has the code. It's not opening back up. Brock Purdy is who we thought he is. He's a mediocre quarterback with a quarterback guru and great talent around him. Let's just call a spade a spade. I know that they're dealing with injuries. Christian McCaffrey, he out. Debo has been in and out. George Kittle hasn't looked like himself. The defense don't look like themselves. The middle linebacker, I can't think of his name right now.
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner, he out. This is not
He's
what
playing. He just got a broken ankle.
Broken ankle.
Mm-hmm. He's playing though.
Yeah, well, he need to sit out. He don't need the broken ankle. Come on, man. Like, this is football. Like he look, Ken, the 49ers, it's over. It's over. And they got to rebuild. Now is the time to do it. Before you pay a quarterback that is mediocre, before you have to re-up a Debo. You know what I'm saying? You already re-up Brandon Ayuk. You could trade him next year or the year after. But it's just that time. To me, this is more of a realization of where the 49ers are versus who the Bills are right now.
And FIFO, if you would have just listened to me coming into the season, you will understand this is what I told you. I said coming into like the most underrated story going into the NFL season is that Brock Purdy is in a contract year. So everything about this year was going to be examined closely. We got other topics to talk about, of course, but Kyle Shanahan missed his window. I'm not going to say it's over forever for him, but he definitely missed his window between signing Jimmy G that first time around to now. Like, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, hella NFC championship games. Like, he's done all he could. He just couldn't find a quarterback. And he got arrogant thinking he could put anybody in this system, and now everybody old. So now he got to start over. Now he got a few more years with a few of them, but again, they old now. They look like they didn't belong in the NFL playing in the blizzard with the Bills. Like, it looked bad. Brock Purdy threw the ghost of the Bills Mafia knocked that fumble out of his head. Ain't nobody touched that motherfucker. He's just like, bro, it's so cold. He said it was so cold, I didn't even want to hold it no more. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like what are we talking about? Like, And I know y'all say I hate Kyle Shanahan. It's not I hate him. I just be honest
do.
about it.
You
I'm
hate
just
him.
honest about him. Bro.
Almost as much as you hate Mike Tomlin.
I'm
Yeah.
just honest. I'm just honest about Kyle Shanahan, bro. It's also his fault too because he kept firing. He kept trying to put the blame on other people firing defensive coaches and shit like that. And now his defense giving up 35 on the road. It's you, nigga. It's you.
Yeah. And, throughout this season, I mean, I've been on here talking about, hey, they can't hold leads. Something ain't looking right. This team don't look right. And now they're falling apart. Kyle Shanahan, something's off. From what I've seen, like they've given up 2 10-point leads in the fourth quarter. They can use those right now. And then all the injuries piled up. And the one conversation we keep coming back to, and I keep saying it, they cannot give Glock Purdy $60 million. And y'all keep telling me they going to give him $60 million. And I'm like, they cannot pay this man. We know what he is.
They have to.
No, Nick. He is not a force multiplier. That's the little famous thing that they like to put out there right now.
Yeah.
But he isn't. You cannot do that.
But he done the things that you ask any quarterback to do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ken, you're the GM of the 49ers, and you're telling me you have the 14th pick in the draft. Quinn Ewers may be the person that you got to go with. You're telling me that you let Brock Purdy walk, somebody who already went to an NFC Championship game?
He went to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, but what's the alternative, though? You sign Sam Darnold?
So let me ask you this. So you're saying that they would build around Glock?
They have to.
They have no choice.
So this is just a bad year. This is just a down year.
Yeah, it's
injuries.
Look, here's the thing. What we have seen and what we do know, he can run that offense, right?
Yes.
He can run the offense. He knows the offense
better than anyone we ever seen run it. Trey Lance, Garoppolo. He's the one that can get him to the NFC Championship, possibly the Super Bowl, and win it. He's good enough to do that. We know that. I'm gonna take a chance on a mid-round quarterback. I'm gonna take a chance on a mid-round quarterback, hoping he can do what Brock Purdy can do. I don't see that.
My thing is that he's technically earned a paycheck. Now, how much you want to pay him is where it's going to be. Because I do think he should get paid. I think he should get.
That's a good point, Nick.
I think he should get no more than $50 million a year.
He should go into it. He shouldn't go into this like someone like, oh, I'm next up. I should get this much money.
He should get a Daniel Jones contract.
Mahomes. He should go.
No, he did more than that. He's done more than him.
He should go into it like Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady was like, how much do I need to take and still have a good team around me? He should not go into this trying to get number one money. I'm that guy money. He shouldn't do that. But he definitely should do it like, how do we make me get paid well and still sign players?
I would say he should be 49ers should offer him a 4-year, $250 million contract, $175 guaranteed.
3. You can only I wouldn't go past 3, bro. If you do 4, then you got to work that contract to where you can get out that last year somehow, some way.
That's why I said 175. Like you could probably move money around however, but like
hey,
you got to cap it at 50 a year.
Hey, look. Hey, the man just out of bullets. It is Shelton. Like what's the bullets in the gun, man? CMC, Ayuk is gone. Debo Samuels. I mean, those the bullets, bro. He ain't got the bullets, bro.
He got no bullets.
He got none.
Mason gone too. Mason's gone too. He got no.
It's a BB gun. What y'all expect the man to do? He ain't Patrick Mahomes. He ain't Patrick Mahomes.
He's the last pick in the draft, for God's sakes.
Yeah. He's gonna bounce back. He's gonna bounce back. The sequel to this movie is gonna be hell next year.
It's gonna be worth it.
What's gonna bounce is that check if you keep on fucking up. That's what it is. But my thing is with Purdy, he damn near might have to just take whatever they can get you, bro. Because he can't stay in San Francisco off the salary he got. He gonna have to pull somebody gonna have to give him an extra job. He gonna have to start sweeping floors at the damn stadium. He can make his salary.
Mm.
Do y'all think another team would offer him like starter money? Like if you the Raiders and you don't want to draft Shador, do you think
You can't do it?
Brock Purdy?
It did not work out with Jimmy G. Now I think. Well, do you guys? I hate asking y'all this because I know the answer, but objectively, do you think he's better than Jimmy G?
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
Okay.
He better.
Because I was like, they tried it with Jimmy G and it didn't work. With the Raiders and other teams.
I'm trying to find a comp for Purdy, but it might honestly be it might be Baker.
Brad Johnson.
It might be Baker. Like
Brad Johnson
as the best comp for him right now. Like we're a quarterback where it's like, we ain't gonna give you that much, but you better than most. So we'll pay you. You can make this offense hum a little bit, but we gotta have a Mike Evans. We gotta have a Chris Godwin. We gotta have a good defense. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta have all these things before we gotta have you.
Hey, 49ers need to sign Jameis Winston. That's what's going to help them. They need to sign Jameis, man.
They're not gonna do that, bro.
No, they're not.
I just don't know what, because after that game, I was like, it's rebuild time. I just don't know what they look like because they signed all these people, and the last person left, is Glock. So right. But my thing is, and now I'm talk like Shelton a little bit, is like the leadership in that locker room, and are these guys willing to fight for one another? Like there were frustration when they started to lose those double-digit leads. Like, are they still united? Can Kyle Shanahan still keep them together and fighting? Because they still got a chance at winning the division. It's not over. It's just you're gonna have to do it without CMC. Ayuk is done, and now Nick, we got to look at Kyle Shanahan. What can you do? I mean, but
I've been looking at, bro. I've been telling y'all.
You've been looking at his failures in big games, which here's the thing, Nick.
Go ahead.
FIFO is the one that argues with you the most about Kyle Shanahan. I will never forgive Kyle Shanahan for losing that Super Bowl 28-3 to Tom Brady ever. Yes, so whenever he loses, it doesn't bother me at all. I think the man gets everything he deserves. So,
but my thing with Kyle Shanahan is that he is just stubborn. That's my biggest issue. He don't want to give. He doesn't know how to pick quarterbacks. That's clear, because either they fall into his lap, and then with Brock Purdy, or the ones he has picked, i.e. Jimmy G, i.e. Trey Lance, are shitball. So he doesn't know how to pick a quarterback. Yet he has, the funny thing about it is he has a goofy ass, it's not a goofy ass system, it's really basic. He has a really basic system that's high, that if you draft well, it's gonna work well. But when you're in this era of quarterbacks, where we're in the golden age of quarterbacks, you're not gonna win, no matter how close you get. So it's just like either you submit, and I don't know who's up next or whatever, as far as like possibly get a free agent quarterback, but it has to be someone who's not the last pick in the draft, or someone who only had an 8-game good run and you paid him $150 million. Like I don't know what quarterback he can get at this point, but right now I don't know if a full rebuild is necessary. But until he gets this QB situation right, he's not gonna win shit. I don't care about who got around.
Rob said that I said that Glock Purdy was better than Josh Allen. Y'all remember me saying that?
Yeah,
I know.
Okay,
but
I say a lot of shit. I say a lot of shit. So
we say a lot of shit. So you may not have.
Rob smoking good.
Hey, he's been to a Super Bowl.
You've
been to a Super Bowl.
Hey! In that Super Bowl, he played fairly well. He gave him the lead. The defense didn't hold it.
He gave him the lead. Defense ain't hold it.
Even though
the defense held Kansas City to under 21 most of that game. The offense that's supposed to be the offensive guru genius couldn't get more than
True, but he bounced back twice in that fourth quarter. You know, he showed up. He had a game-winning drive in the playoffs against Green Bay.
I will say he overthrew Debo wide open.
He sure did. He did.
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to Chris Jones though, but like that was probably the game. That was the game-winning touchdown right there.
Well, Josh Allen ain't never overthrew nobody in the Super Bowl because he ain't never been. So talk to me when you get there. So I ain't no Brock Purdy fan, but hey, he been to the Super Bowl, so you can't argue that.
Ken, the worst thing that can happen right now is either Bo Nix gets to the AFC Championship game or Josh Allen win the Super Bowl. I ain't coming on this program.
Hey, Nick, I'm telling you, man, I think this is the year for Josh Allen, bro. I just got a feeling. And right now, as we move to the final segment, the NFL MVP odds, Josh Allen is leading with Saquon second. Third, fourth, and fifth don't even matter.
It don't.
Yeah,
it's so crazy though, because this can turn. 5 weeks ago, this whole thing was totally different. This thing can turn on the drop. It still can turn because Josh Allen still has a couple important games to go, and it depends on which Josh Allen we get. This, he's had a pretty smooth run thus far. This wasn't the San Francisco team we thought he'd be playing at this time, and that wasn't the weather we thought he'd be playing in. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying he's had an easy run because ain't none of these games easy in my opinion. I don't care what nobody say. But still, we don't know what this is going to end up like. We got to watch the rest of this thing play out, and I can't wait to see it.
I think they face Detroit coming
They
up.
do play Detroit.
Yeah, they do play Detroit.
Yeah,
they play the Rams, Detroit. I think.
Yeah, they play the Rams this weekend and Detroit next weekend. Yeah,
so it's a couple
we'll see
games they got on there. Yeah,
we'll see what they look like.
So he can lose it.
Yeah, it's just hard for running backs to get it. I still, man, I think anyway, that's just.
I think if he breaks the record, he'll get it.
That's it. If he breaks the record, a lot of those guys said they will vote for him. But
that's
as a running back, you just never know. It's just hard to tell that too, because you could have a game where they bottle you up. Like, we're gonna stop you. We're gonna load 9 in the box and force you to beat us with AJ Brown. And that can happen. It ain't happened yet, but it can happen. So
Saquon in my fantasy, I hope it don't happen.
I hope not either, too, man. I don't want it to go that way.
As we get ready to close out the show with our picks, before I do that, Nick, I must read this from Josh Rose. He said, given the ridiculous expectations for the Jets team, is this the most disappointing season from any team ever? What a disgrace, 15 years, no playoffs. We know exactly what Shelton and Spike, we know how they feel. So let's not even hear from them. What say you, Nick? And
Oh yeah, I had huge expectations. So I'm definitely disappointed in them. Almost as disappointed I am with Cincinnati, but I didn't expect it to be this bad in New York, though.
I didn't either.
I was like, at least win a division. I thought they had the best roster coming into the season. I'm like, Rodgers got enough to at least get them 8 wins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sheldon, I see you shaking your head, Sheldon. I
don't want to hear from y'all. We already know y'all say this shit every damn week, bro.
Sheldon, let's dance on this nigga grave. We've been saying this shit for 2 years. He's sorry. He washed, he owned, and we saw this shit coming.
Hey man, he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. These folks, he's like, I got y'all suckers.
Robbed New York. He robbed Woody, whatever the fuck the New York
Woody Johnson
name is. He robbed all of them.
They might bench this dude, man. That's crazy.
He pulled a Trump on them. Like, he was like, "Oh, we got the same politics. Yeah, I'm gonna come be your quarterback. We're gonna do great. All this bullshit." And he ain't done shit. He looks terrible in New York.
He was better
He
hurt.
looked like Zach Wilson.
Let's dance on this nigga grave, Sheldon.
He was better hurt.
He look worse. Hey, FIFO, the stats are worse than Zach Wilson's stats. And we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hey,
I said this shit. I said he was going to be terrible in the beginning.
But y'all haters, man.
But Lou, then he brought all his boys with him. That's what makes it so bad. He's like, I need my
what
people.
Nick tried to give him props for.
You
sorry, nigga. We didn't bring your homeboy.
They gave him everything he asked for and then some. And it still didn't work.
It didn't work. The only, again, Lou, it's all based on the fact of he getting black men paid that they shouldn't even be getting paid outside of Devontae.
I bet Devontae was like, what the fuck?
Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, who else they had? Like, Bro, he always down to put money in niggas' pockets.
Hey.
That's why I fuck with Aaron Rodgers. Till
Aaron
this
Rodgers
day.
is super
Till
scammer.
this
He's a
day.
scammer, bro.
Hey,
Yes,
do
bro.
y'all know that I'm sorry, people, but real quick, but they've won one game since they fired Robert Saleh. And Robert Saleh went straight to the Green Bay Packers as an advisor and has only lost one game since he's been there. I bet he's laughing so hard right now.
Bro.
Oh man,
100%. Robert Saleh wasn't the
scammed.
issue. We talked about that. The issue here is, with the exception of Spike and Shelton, I didn't think that Rodgers was this washed. Now, I didn't have the same expectations that Nick had, because Nick was talking about, Super Bowl, all this type.
I said AFC Championship game. I said AFC Championship game.
Hey, you get to the AFC Championship.
They were supposed to place the Bengals in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, that obviously is not happening. But I didn't think Rodgers was this washed, but I did have an expectation of them competing for a playoff. You know what I'm saying? So, no, this is definitely disappointing because, we're witnessing the demise of one of the greatest passers that the league has ever seen. And he's literally a shell of himself. And here's the thing, too. I think the injury last year hastened his demise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because he didn't look that bad in Green Bay.
Bro. Stop
Wait,
shooting.
hold on.
Let him get through it so we can get to the picks.
I'm just being 100% honest. The last year in Green Bay, he didn't look washed. He looked older. Then he had the injury, and then now he looks like a shell of himself. So, here's the thing. Does he come back next season?
No.
Hell no.
No.
So he retired. You think he retires like this?
He better walk away on his own reconnaissance versus somebody telling him, "Hey, nigga, we don't need you no more." He better walk away.
That type of talent, ego, and
after what they seen this year.
He not.
Who gonna sign him?
I don't know, but I don't know if he's walking.
Raiders.
Away.
Somebody will sign him, bro.
Nah, fuck nah.
If the Raiders don't get a QB, they might.
Y'all been watching. Hey, bro, y'all been watching the same bullshit I've been watching over the last 14 weeks of the NFL.
You ain't taking on them.
Aaron Rodgers cannot play football anymore,
and he's a problem. You're not taking on them problems in hopes that he can be a shell of himself.
We're not doing that.
And that's the biggest thing, Shelton, is that he's not humble. He's not aging gracefully. He still thinks he's 25-year-old.
All the more reason why I wouldn't sign him. Get out of here. Retire, bro. Get away from football. We don't need you no more.
And he need too much. You gotta do too much to appease a guy that does not deserve it anymore.
All right. Weekly picks.
Huh? Oh, go ahead.
You think he'll be cool with a backup?
Nah, he's retired.
No, he's done. He won't ever be a backup.
He retired before that.
Yeah, he don't want to play anyway.
True.
All right, weekly picks. I don't even want to know, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it wasn't good for
what it looked like.
It wasn't good for you, Kim. But
the last 2 weeks have been 3 weeks have been rough.
What it look like, Nick?
I do have a proposal though. After you're done.
Wait, hold on. What you say, Nick?
I was gonna say, Sean, this is the only time we giving you your flowers, right? At the end of the show, you're the only one that I don't know how you be doing it, but shit, if you want to bet on games, look at Sheldon's cheat sheet. Overall for this week, or for last week, for week 13, Shelton was 5-0, Ken was 1-4, FIFO was FIFO and Lou 3-2. And
winning record. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. And I forgot to put up the games
total.
for you. No, I got the totals. I forgot to put up the games for the viewers last week, so that's my bad. But I posted it now, so I can go check it out. But the totals overall, FIFO. Well, I'll start with the number one and go down. Shelton is number one at 43-12. FIFO is number 2 at 37-18. Spike actually moved up. He's 35-20.
Surprise!
It was a spike. I would say it was a spike. No pun intended. And me and Ken are tied for 29-26. Ken, what you always say when we play a battle? We in the mud now.
And Nick, you caught him though.
Hey, I'm almost there.
I've been so here's my proposal, right? I think we should pick at least one, if not two, losing teams. It's easy sometimes to pick all the good teams. We should pick some teams that we don't know who's going to win because they both sorry as hell.
That's what I be giving to the viewers. So you want me to switch?
Like
I think
so you saying pick the Cowboys every week?
I think one of the picks should be one that's a real toss up. Like we don't really have a good, like, yeah, two good teams going head to head. Sometimes you never know who's going to win, but sometimes you can just, I feel like sometimes it can be a lot easier. But I think if we pick two teams on the struggle bus, that might be interesting.
I'll do that next week. For
sure.
Nick do that shit every week with the Bengals in there. I don't know.
That's true.
Like, why are we picking the Bengals game this week? Like he's doing that right now.
No. Dragon Knight. I'm not trying to ruse because I stink. I stink every year, bro. Yeah, this is not anything new. Trust me. This is not. I've said. I just haven't said it a lot this year. I'm not good at picking teams and picking picks. I've always said that.
Well, last week I
Chicago versus San Francisco was like, there's no reason we should be picking it.
No, that goes to Ken's point. That's the game. You don't know who the fuck gonna win. So
yeah, that's actually a good one.
That's a good game. I was gonna say Seattle and Arizona is the same thing. Like, you don't really know who gonna pop off in that.
Those are good ones. This is actually tough.
Yeah. So do we got
yeah. What you got? What you want to go with first?
Let's start with where we talked about this team earlier on. With Kirk Cousins going back home.
I knew you were gonna do that.
He go with Atlanta.
This is my problem.
Atlanta. You may get this one. You're eventually gonna be right, Ken.
You up in narcotic real bad.
Yeah, I don't. Ken, explain yourself.
Hey, the stream didn't end, did it?
No, we still good. Hey man, revenge game. Darnold hasn't been looking the best. The Vikings should have lost last week. And what? They shouldn't have lost?
Anything that you're about to say is no.
Lou, they were on the ropes, bro. They were on the ropes. They got lucky. But I think the streak got to break at some point, bro. It has to be this weekend. It's gonna be this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, shit. This is the last game that Kirk Cousins is gonna start as a Falcon. That's the only reason why I'm focusing on this.
For my 2 cents, I believe in Sam Darnold more than I believe in Kirk Cousins.
Dang, that don't mean a goddamn thing.
That's where we at right now.
You said nothing.
Right, you right,
Nick.
You right. That don't mean a goddamn thing, but I think that's where we at right now with these two teams.
Ken, you might be right though.
I would take Sam Darnold.
You might be right with the revenge game. That's the only thing I.
It's gonna be the wrong revenge team. So it's gonna be the Vikings.
Yeah,
we paid this goofy ass thing.
Like he agreeing with him, and he picked the Vikings. Like what?
The Vikings gonna win.
The Vikings definitely getting their revenge by having the record that they're having.
Boy, with a backup
with Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
he'll be a starter somewhere next year.
Sam Darnold?
He may, but it won't be like this. Then they're gonna regret their purchase.
He won't.
100.
They got JJ. They got JJ coming. Well, no, I heard he had a setback with his injury, but
that's
he's
coming
back. Yeah,
I forgot
he was balling
JJ.
in the preseason. Man, he balling in the preseason.
He got hurt. He got hurt with his.
Sam Darnold tripped his ass.
The Tanya Hardin, he hit him on the.
Yeah, that's funny.
Up next, we got Seattle going to Arizona. They faced each other like not too long ago. So I'm all right, Lou. Why you picking AZ? Why you picking AZ over the?
I think Arizona is the best team in that conference. I think Kyler Murray is the best quarterback.
You mean
in the
division?
Excuse me. You're right. In the division, I think that the Cardinals with Connor and Kyler Murray are the best tandem in that conference, and I don't think that Geno gonna come to the plate. I don't think he gonna do what he need to do to win the game.
Watch out for the Rams,
this is why
bro.
I disagree.
And I got him on my fantasy team.
This is why I disagree with you, Spike. Mainly because when I watch Kyler play, he's dynamic, big arm. He's short, but he could move out of the pocket.
Fast.
But he makes throws. He plays the game like he don't want to get hit. He really don't. And he makes decisions that are put him first, put his health first. And I get it to a degree, but you can't win consistently in this league like that. And I feel that when I watch Seattle play, it just feels like they're just chugging along and they're just getting more momentum, more momentum, more momentum. And that's the reason why I'm picking them. And I feel like they just have more weapons offensively. 2 running backs. They got literally 3 wide receivers that are viable. One is a superstar. One is up and coming. One is a vet. I just like what Seattle got going on.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on what you said about Kyler, but I think he's better than Geno. And I think the better quarterback. I think the better quarterback is going to win this game.
The crazy thing to me is that
I think the team is.
Kyler hasn't unlocked Marvin Harrison like that yet. Like it's like once every 4 games they eat
right.
like Harrison.
I blame that on the coach. We talked about that, I think, here and other places. I blame it on the coach. Like there's no reason that Harrison. They're trying. I've looked at a lot of Cardinals games this year because again I got him in my fantasy. They're trying to force the ball to Harrison. They're not doing a lot of stuff to make him naturally open. Like there's not a lot of play calling that makes Harrison available, and it always looks like that Murray is trying to force him the ball versus him naturally being open because of the scheme.
That interception was definitely forced to MJH.
Fact. Great point, Ken. That was a force. Like they don't do enough on a play calling standpoint to get Harrison open as to where Murray should be looking for him, and that's a detriment to their team.
Up next, we have a damn near. Well, it's not I don't think it's a primetime game, but we have the LA Chargers going to Kansas City.
Can't wait to see this one. Oh,
yeah, I guess I was waiting, but
hey Nick, you're crazy. You're a wild dude, Nick.
This ain't first of all. This is the battle of the white. This is the battle of the white boys.
It is.
You're a wild dude. You're a wild dude. You're a wild dude.
Second of all, hardball, bro. I got 2 syllables. I ain't even got 2 words. I got 2 hardball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got 1 syllable. Read, nigga. Read.
Nigga, I'm telling you right now. Real talk. The defense is still good. Even though J.K. Dobbins got hurt, that's not saying nothing new. I still like how they run their offense. I think Shelton mentioned it. Justin Herbert's probably one of the most efficient quarterbacks this season, if not damn near in a minute. He doesn't turn the ball over. So to me, with Kansas City, they've been really winning these games on the skin of their teeth. The Chargers already played them closely before that. I think Harbaugh's gonna make a difference. This time.
I don't disagree with you, Nick, but I feel like he's a season away. I think situationally they're way better, which is why the game is close. They're just not dynamic enough. They don't have those playmakers to overcome what Kansas City brings on defense. So, and then even though they're struggling offensively, like I said earlier in the telecast, like when it comes clutch time, who's more clutch than Pat Mahomes?
I don't disagree with any of that. I'm just saying, like, the Chiefs have to lose a division game. They ain't going to sweep the division with Harbaugh in the.
Why not?
Because Harbaugh's there. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the first game,
he's not ready yet.
He could split that.
He's not ready yet.
They're coming off a bye too. That's the biggest thing.
They're
They're coming off a bye, and that's huge when you got Andy Reid coming off a bye. So that's the biggest reason I picked the Chiefs. I'm with you, Nick. I think that it's going to be tough for them to run the table, but this team, fresh coming off a bye, had the time extra week to prepare.
Who's coming off a bye?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs. The Chiefs played on Friday, Black Friday. They faced the Raiders. They almost lost to the Raiders.
That's
I thought they were.
That's what I'm saying. You called that a bye? It was 17-19.
I was wrong. I forgot they played.
No. They already had their bye week.
Lost the game.
That was Black Friday. God, this week went by fast for me.
And watch out, and Lou, next season, draft the white boy McConkley, whatever the fuck his name is. He the next Wes Walker.
Yeah, he's out of Georgia. He balling, man. He balling. But somebody just said, I think Cheeseburger said he was hurt, but I didn't even know he was hurt. So,
and to that point, the dude from the Bowers from
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
He's everything that thought Kyle
Georgia
Pitts
too.
Yes, you're right.
Georgia too.
God, he a beast.
Those are Georgia guys. That Georgia had some ballers come through.
Yeah, they
I don't
did.
know nothing about Georgia because I don't like them, but I'm saying
I don't
Bowers.
either, Lou. But I'm just being honest. McConkey, Bowers, these guys were
Bowers.
on the same squad. Washington,
Bowers
the
is
tight
one of the
end
best
from
tight ends. He the best
Pittsburgh.
tight end I've seen play this year.
Pittsburgh
Yep,
tight end.
100.
Washington was second string behind Bowers,
I will say
and they both ball.
underrated tight end this season, Jonnu Smith for the Dolphins.
He balling.
Tyler Kraft for the Packers be balling as well.
Yeah.
Up next we got Buffalo going on the road to the Los Angeles Rams. I think. All right, Ken. I knew somebody was gonna do it. I was gonna try to get through this one quick, but Ken, you always gotta put a stop to it. What's up?
Hey man, Stafford, bro. Stafford. Yeah. He gonna go toe to toe with Josh Allen. Watch. This game is in LA too. And, and at some point, I think we gotta see what Josh Allen really is about. And Shelton said at some point, he's gonna have to lose. He's gonna have to face some real teams. The Rams are hot right now. They playing well.
This is perfect setup for a trap game. So I
did too.
I don't give a fuck about Josh Allen. I'm only picking them because they hot right now, and they on the road, so that
this was hard.
This was. I was thinking about it too, and I fuck with Puka Nacua, but I'm playing against him this week in fantasy, so I do need him to do shit ball.
That's funny.
But I just think that the Bills are they're on a hot streak right now. They're just on a hot streak.
Yeah, I feel that.
And last but not least, well, actually it is least. We got Chicago going on the road.
He gonna be all right, Nick. He gonna be all right. Hey,
I know why FIFO picking Chicago. You see when one team is doing bad, he go to the other one, right?
No.
he switch up.
He switch up, boy.
No, I picked mine is supposed to be Chicago.
He by coastal, huh?
Mine is supposed to be Chicago.
You want Chicago?
Yeah, I picked Chicago.
Why?
When
I'll
when
show
did
you. I
make
can show
this
you.
change?
No, I'm saying why.
Why
No,
did I change to
not
Chicago?
even. You saying you can show us, but Jalen got the graphic. He put it up, and now, just like you tried to do last week.
No.
Switch your picks.
No, I switched my pick in our talks with
And if it's live, Lou, I'll let it happen. But after it's live, it's locked in.
Stick to your picks, Sheldon. That's all I got to say.
No. I actually put the wrong thing in because I delete the way I sent it to him is I deleted. Anyway, I picked Chicago, and you want to know why I picked Chicago?
Yes.
Because I think that I'm praying that this new coach, they got a black GM, black coach, black coordinators, black everything now in Chicago. And I'm hoping this black coach, I can't remember his name, but he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Thomas something. I think.
I'm hoping he can pull it together for these guys. Plus, San Francisco is in a disarray right now. They lost both running backs, not just
Mason hurt too.
Yeah, Mason went down too. Mason's on injury. He's out for the season too.
Pick up Geronimo if you on fantasy people.
Yeah, they have a rookie running back that's going to start this week. Debo ain't doing nothing. Purdy ain't doing nothing. It's just not a good look right now in San Francisco. One is hurt. They're in disarray, and I think the Bears are around they're in the prime position to catch San Francisco. So that's why I picked them.
Anytime a coach gets fired, team has new energy. And let's be honest, they played a pretty good game against the Lions. Obviously, it's never just the last thing that happens in a game. There's things that happen throughout the course of the game. But let's be honest, if they had better late game management, they really were in position to either tie and go to overtime or win that game. They just didn't manage it right. And I think the majority of us have said, at least for the NFC, the Lions are the best team. So if the Bears can go toe-to-toe with the best team, everything that Schultz said in terms of the 49ers being in disarray, CMC is out, Debo ain't doing shit. Where the hell is George Kittle? You know what I'm saying? Purdy doesn't look like a $60 million quarterback. And the Bears now have that newfound energy from getting Eberflus out of there. At least for one game, they might look like world beaters. And Caleb has had his ups and downs, but let's be honest, even in that game, he made some plays like, oh shit, like he the guy. Like he looks better than he's made throws that Justin can only dream of making. So that's why I picked the Bears.
Yeah, I'm only going with the 49ers just because I trust Kyle Shanahan more than Thomas Brown, who's the new head coach. And ain't that a college? Ain't that a HBCU college? Yeah, I trust him more than that. But those are all the picks, man.
All right. Do we have a against the spread, Shelton?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Yeah, I sent it in. This is against the spread for all y'all who are following on Prize Picks, which is my app of choice. We'll change it up at some point, but right now, what I've been trying to do is get the picks in as quick as possible to catch the lines before they move. So this week we're doing the Thursday night game, Green Bay versus Detroit. And my first pick on against the spread, as you can see, is Josh Jacobs going over 87.5 total yards. That's rushing and receiving. He's hit this line for the last 5 games, and I believe in this game with Detroit with a lot of injuries on defense, he should hit this pretty easy. And on the next one, you can roll that next one over. I got Jordan Love throwing the ball for over 252.5 passing yards. He's hit that line. Let me see. I can't remember how many times. He's hit that line 3 out of the last 5 games. I think he's going to be slinging a rock around in this Detroit team, and he's going to have to do it to keep up with what Detroit does on offense. They're going to have to really, really move the ball around. The last time they played Detroit, he threw for 273 yards in a loss. So look for the same type of effort in this game. And the last one is Jahmyr Gibbs, over 66.5 rushing yards. He's been balling lately, and he's hit this line 4 out of 5 times, and he's going to run wild. He's going to lead the team in carries over Montgomery. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is your home run hitter, and he's going to see a majority of the action. And those are my 3 picks. You can put those down for 1 unit.
All right. Appreciate it. And let's get to a super chat here. Josh Rose, credit to Bryce Young for having a nice stretch of play right now. Do you think he's played himself into a starting job next year?
Josh Rose, to answer your question, in my position, yes, I think so. I think that I give Bryce a lot of credit. I've always told everybody to hang in there with him. I think the new norm for football is you're going to see these quarterbacks get benched. We've seen it happen several times this year already where quarterback gets benched for a few games, comes back. I think that's the new norm in football. It used to be taboo to bench a quarterback. If you benched them, that was it. That was usually the end of it. But this year you've seen people come back from a benching and play a lot better their second go-round once they've had a chance to sit down and take a look at the action and see what's going on around them. It's better to surround these guys with veterans so they can make plays. This team was devoid of talent, but he's figured it out. And I think Bryce is getting comfortable in his shell. He has a pretty good coach now for a change, and he looks 1,000 times better than a lot of people thought he would. I actually root for Bryce, and I want him to play well. So I'm happy for him.
All right. He's not here, but Green Bean says, somebody go to my dog FIFO's house and fix his mic. He sounds underwater. I don't know what's going on with FIFO. It's Mike.
I still sound crazy?
Yeah, man. People got that mic off T-Move. That's what it is.
You sounded crazy. You got the same mic.
Play it back after the show.
That's a T-Move mic.
Play it back after the show. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
You on something, bro.
Well, I got that reduced background and echo cancellation.
No, you gotta get headphones, probably.
It's the microphone. I don't think it's the headphone.
Crackly. Yeah, you sound crackly. Like it sounds like you from a distance.
Take that off the screen. Last one. Prayers up for Trent Williams and his wife. What happened?
They had twins. They lost both twins. One earlier in the pregnancy, and one after he was born. So yeah, shout out to Trent Williams and his wife, man. That it has to be devastating as a parent. There's no worse feeling, which I've never experienced it, but from what I understand, no worse feeling than having to bury your child. Bless him and her, and hopefully he gets back on track and they can move on and have another one. Trent Williams Jr., rest in peace.
Yeah, 49ers been going through it this year.
Mm-hmm.
They have, top to bottom.
Going through it.
Because Shadarius Ward lost his daughter, rest in peace to her as well. So he's been out a couple of weeks.
And before we get out of here, Nick, Mark Carver said we were being disrespectful for not talking about Deion.
What's there to talk about, Ken?
Right. We were only talking about college playoff teams.
Hey, y'all can talk about you can talk about how he dipped off on Pilar.
I mean, shit, we didn't have anything to talk about. Deion blew his chance.
Every year, that's how those fans, those Colorado bandwagon fans, dip on Deion. Every season, they be with him until the end, and they be gone. Y'all don't be talking shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, one damn job.
He had a successful season though.
Yeah, he'll be in a bowl game. Ranked 23rd in the nation.
What bowl game he be in, Lou? He gonna be in a Swisher Sweet bowl.
He definitely in the Blackwood. The Blackwood.
The orthopedic bowl.
Yeah, the Backwood. Swisher Sweet bowl.
Oh boy.
The Black and Mild bowl.
Oh man. All right. That is it, man. Stat padding for Hunter. That's what Marty asked about.
Yeah, he's
Why not?
man.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that shit for Heisman Trophy winners for years. Like, yes, we're gonna stat pad for him. We want him to win the Heisman. I ain't mad at it. Yes.
Hey, did you see his girl tripping on him at the end of the game?
Hunters?
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No, I don't follow the same TikTok you got.
It ain't TikTok. I'll send it to you.
You have some wild TikToks.
Yeah, she was tripping. He was happy after the game, but she wasn't happy, so it ended his happiness quick.
I was trying to look at the odds real quick. Right now, I think Travis is number one and Ashton.
He's favorite to win it right now.
Yeah, I think he taking his top spot now. He should win it. I think he's the Heisman, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The dude from Boise State and Shadua are the finalists. Top 3 right now.
What are you looking at? Where you get that from?
I saw that on DraftKings.
Shadua is a Heisman
candidate?
Yeah,
Shadua's still going to. Yeah, he going to New York. Like he's going to be one of the candidates.
You sure?
I'm positive. From what I heard, from what I seen as of yesterday morning. Unless it's Saints.
Okay. I think
you know what's the sure bet though? That boy Zach Taylor about to get fired, boy.
Yeah, it's not. That's not going to happen, bro. It'll be a smart decision, but it's not going to happen. FIFA.
He gone.
I'm telling
you
right
now. Because if I'm the OC of Detroit, I'm looking at Chicago and I'm looking at the Bengals, bro. If I can get my hands on Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Jermaine Burton, and the rest of them guys, bro.
I'm with you. I would love that, but Cincinnati don't make their decisions. Unless the only way to do it is if Joe Burrow get this motherfucker out of here. Then they'd be like, all right, yeah, well, all right. Who you want?
But Nick, the thing is, man, they're 4-7, bro. And look, the numbers look good. You know, we know it's not the offense, but at the end of the day, you can't keep a coach when he's underwhelming like this, because aren't you the guy that's all about wins and losses? And you want to keep a guy that's 4-7 when they had championship aspirations?
I didn't say I would keep him. This is the season where I'm like, this is the best time to get up off of him. I told you I came on. I'm on your side now. You was early. I called you a hater, but you was right. so that's why I'm just like, all right, we can let him go, but they don't make decisions like that. He took them to the Super Bowl, FIFO. They're not gonna just give up on.
How many years ago was that?
Trust me.
How many years ago was that?
I agree with you, but for the owners, that meant a lot.
Ken, for the Heisman, Genty is plus 1,500. Travis Hunter is minus 6,000. So obviously the favorite.
Oh.
And then you got everybody else: Dylan Gabriel, Curtis Rourke from Indiana, Jalen Milroe, and Shadua, all plus 5,000. All those are the same. So he's essentially third.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us, man. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.